As you track the fate of the teams that go deep into the late rounds on Sunday, certain moments rise that not only end up defining a player and a team's story, they can alter the very trajectory of the sport itself. This is the story of paintball's defining moments, of those who struggled and persevered through the battles at the top of the NXL Pro Division. Entering into the 2022 NXL season, there was a familiar theme. San Diego Dynasty, after 20 years of precedent-setting greatness, again sat at the very top of the game. They've been undefeated for 2 events, winning 14 matches in a row, and also playing with the confidence of taking the past 2 World Cups. And they've just pulled off one of the biggest player pickups in the offseason, adding multiple-time MVP Archie Montemayor.
Yeah, I think this offseason was really good for San Diego Dynasty. You know, we got to keep the whole team together. We had a great year last year. Things are really starting to click with the team, the chemistry, and the confidence. Confidence is huge. So when you can keep really the core of the team, and more than that, we kept everybody, and we're able to add Archie Montemayor, which is one of the best players ever to play the game, and a new young kid in Damien. We're in a really good spot. We're in a good spot to have a lot of versatility. We've got a lot of guys that are really intelligent, play everywhere, and the team's hungry. You bring in some youth. They're hungry to get one of their first wins. And yeah, I'm excited for this first event. It's been a crazy offseason. A lot of movement, a lot of other, stuff going on, new teams coming into the league. So there's a lot of hungry people, a lot of hungry teams, a lot of teams and players with chips on their shoulders. And yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a good year.
But a new potential monster had entered the arena. The Latin Saints, new on the scene, were throwing money at every all-star in the league in their attempt to build another powerhouse super team. Of the 2 current resident super teams, Houston Heat's championship roster remained intact, while a few of Impact's core attackers had taken the bait and left perceived greener pastures, forcing Edmonton to rebuild. 16 other pro teams, including proven winners like Tampa Bay Damage, San Antonio X Factor, and Los Angeles Infamous, were lined up to try to make a run at Dynasty's title. The stage was set for the most difficult year in pro paintball history, as the best teams in the world quested for their own defining moments.
Games, man. We've already gotten an overtime game today. People are attacking. It's the beginning of the season. People are prepared, ready, and everybody seems to be off to a good start. So 2022 season is officially underway.
No, we cannot throw our bodies away. We have to be together.
Yeah. Get the
Work with the guy next to you. Get the talk going. If they have 3 and we have 5, there is no reason to go anywhere.
No.
We control the airwaves and we
rock.
make them fucking blow the horn.
Clean it up, boys. Clean it up. Let's go.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team! Have fun, guys. Let's go. This is fun. Let's
Let's go!
After a chaotic but productive offseason, the Saints were able to convince a sizable chunk of Impact's team to jump ship. 4 players were willing to take a big risk for a big reward with a new team and a new owner. 2 players from the Ironman also answered the call, Corey Hall and Silos Cortez. Their roster had seeds of excellence so deep that the question would be, could they contend immediately, or would it take more time?
I was the last guy. I was the final piece in the puzzle, because I always made fun of them. I was like, yeah, you guys can go over there and collect your money, but you guys will never win. You have no leader, you have no organization. Like, who is gonna run that? I was like, Mouse, you're gonna do it? Absolutely not. Kyle's not gonna do it. There was no one on the team that could really bring everyone together from front to back. They were missing that piece. I was like throwing out ridiculous numbers. I was like, they would have to offer me something like absolutely stupid for me to even consider leaving. Some of my best friends, so I was always having conversations with them every day about it. Then they kind of gave up, and then I guess they went to dinner with Diego. Diego came into town, and he was like, yeah, tell him, and I'll give him whatever he wants. And at that point, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I just blew it off. And then the next day, they called me, and they're like, no, it's serious. Just talk to him. I know you don't want to leave Impact, but, just talk to him and see what he has to say. So I humored them and had the conversation with Diego first. And I was like, you're going to have to give me 120 grand for me to even consider coming over. And he was like, okay, done. Wanted to do just some more research about it, figure out where he came from, because I had no idea who he was at all. So that was kind of a big risk, and it was a little bit of a scare factor as well in terms of like, okay, well, who is this guy? Where is he from? Why does nobody know him?
One of you, man. I trust in you. Let's go. I trust every one of you. You can do it. Let's do this, man. Let's do fucking this. We can do it.
Yep, let's go, boys.
1, 2, 3, team. 1, 2, 3, team. Let's go.
First team, we got Latin Saints. We're going to see what they can do. I mean, they spent a lot of money to get a good budget. I mean, they got a good team going, so we'll see what they can do. It's going to be a lot for them to come out and play their first match, so we'll see what we can do, see if we can hang with them.
The Saints had issues taking down NRG Elite in their first match. After putting up a 3-point lead early, they then let it slip away. They held on to solidify the 1-point win in the closing seconds. However, their next match against San Diego Dynasty would be the biggest test for this new all-star squad.
Tighten up the game plan. Everyone played pretty good. Let's scout Dynasty. Let's get ready for Dynasty. And good job, guys.
So obviously we're a new team, so we have to go through those steps to build. We just have to work through the notions and progress through as the points go on. For the most part, we're all here to work and we're all here to win, so that's our goal.
We have, some of the best players in the world helping us and walking us through everything. So it's a real big privilege, and I know everybody would be happy just to be part of this team. And I know it's good for paintball, good for Latin paintball, because we're passing this on to the rest of the teams. So I think it's good for just paintball in general, and I'm really happy.
That's a big game. You circle it. You know that is going to be a match. Okay, so Latin Saints, what are they about? We're going to see it. Right here, we get to see it in the prelims. We get to experience it. We don't have to wait until Sunday to experience it. We're going to see it here.
The Saints had a rocky first day, barely beating NRG Elite and then losing to Dynasty by 5.
Right now, let's go, boys.
The Latin Saints would fight back to tie, but it ended up being all Dynasty on the scoreboard as the minutes ticked down. The final score sat 7-2. They would need to play much better to accomplish their goal.
Yesterday, after that big loss we have versus Dynasty, we have a big meeting, a 2-hour plus meeting. We see videos too, seeing our mistakes. And now our first match is versus X Factor, a top team. And well, I think that we study the place okay, and I think we're going to do okay. And then the next match is versus Revo. And actually we need to win both of our matches because the bracket is too close. So let's go. We can do this and we're going to win. You will see.
Hey, there we go. Got another win today. Got one more to go. Hopefully that locks us into Sunday, but I know the most important thing is winning. Colt, good job, buddy. Good. Renee, good seeing you.
During the second day of the prelims, the Latin Saints went undefeated, beating San Antonio X Factor by 3, and then securing a close come-from-behind victory against a tough Baltimore Rebel squad.
Towards the end, everybody started watching the match, and then when we needed help, no one was there to help. We got to be there for each other, together, remember?
Go, let's do it, man.
Hey,
keep having fun, too.
Yeah. On 3.
1, 2, 3, team!
A whole season lay ahead, but at the start of the Sunshine State Major, it was undeniable that Dynasty was the top team to beat. Their original core of Ryan Greenspan, Yosh Rao, and Alex Frazier, all now nearly 40 years old, were still raising the bar of what's possible after 2 decades of precedent-setting greatness by surrounding themselves with a lethal mix of players with eclectic personalities and special talents. Dalton Vanderbilt and Marcelo Margot had proven themselves, even before their current tenure with this squad, as generational talents. And they've become key weapons for Dynasty on this run. And as long as they stayed healthy, they would start the lion's share of the points.
You know, picking up Archie was huge for us coming into 22. He's always been a weapon. The question that was on the table was, how was he going to be mentally coming onto the team? And he came just like he had never not played with us. He was there in the practice saying, okay, guys, this is what we need to do. You know, he was very at home. And, you know, that kind of goes back to the time in Europe that we got to play with him. So a lot of us had experienced Archie already. Archie brought a lot of experience from other teams, but specifically, he brought his game style, which was huge. You know, Archie can play any spot, but he plays it differently and with a great, fantastic mind, which is, you know, that's the beauty of Archie.
You know, me coming here, it was really just doing a service to myself, and in the sense that not only me, but I genuinely believe you need to be inspired, you know, at all costs. And for me, coming to this team, what was that for me? And it gave me a lot to prove and a lot to kind of shake even. And yeah, that's kind of how I've been kind of doing my thing this year. It's a unique opportunity to be me on this team, you know, and it's easy to say, like, you know, well, because to me, I look at it like I try to play the devil's advocate with myself, you know. Oh, yeah, I'm going to the team that's winning. Well, that actually puts a lot of pressure on myself now, because if they don't win, well, what did they change, right? It's me. So it puts the bullseye right in front of me, you know. But I took that and I understood that knowing it.
When Dalton was healthy, very few players could ever match his level of production, but he had been dealing with some injuries. Marcelo Margot, fresh off a World Cup MVP, was the on-field glue in close games and low-body situations, and his versatility in every role had earned him many accolades.
That's what it's going to take, man. Everybody out here is a good player.
The Dynasty was missing one of their core attackers, Blake Garber. Coming off a co-MVP performance at World Cup, he had a most unlucky run-in with an axe in the offseason and almost lost a thumb in the process. He'd be sidelined for the next few months.
Last year was huge. We come into the next year, we pick up Archie Montemayor. Unfortunately, you know, in that transition, we pick up Archie, we have a practice, and I feel fantastic at that first practice. I go home, and the Wednesday after I go home, I get my thumb chopped off. You know, and that's just living life, you know, and I just, of course there was dark moments and all that. I just took it for lessons being learned, and that's get your fingers out of there. But,
Dynasty's first 2 games ended the way the past 14 had, with victories over hungry opponents. They had their hands full in the first game as it went to overtime against a scrappy Baltimore Rebel, who had lost a big chunk of their starting line the past 2 seasons but still found a way to threaten the top teams. On the second day of the prelims, Dynasty again dealt with an improved young squad in NRG Elite, as Dalton Vanderbilt had to win a one-on-one in the first point to take the early lead. NRG came back. They couldn't break into Dynasty's line, and the final score was 4-3 Dynasty. They had an easier time against X Factor, with a 4-point win against Montemayor's old squad. Dynasty went undefeated in the prelims.
To be completely honest, after the Saints game, it was a big relief for the team because it was proof that we have everything it takes to beat the quote-unquote super team that was built. We knew that we had the championship poise. We just won World Cup. We had the team, we had the experience, we had everything, and then we added Archie, as I alluded to earlier. So it was more of, after that match, it was like, yeah, this is what it this is what it's gonna look like, you know.
Won in the NXL Sunshine State Open. We got fresh new dye masters here. Can't wait to rock them. We're playing Sacramento DMG. I'll be up about 2 games, and then we got Tampa Bay Damage after that.
Entering into their 3rd year in the Pro Division, it was unclear how good Columbus level could be, but they had shown vast improvement quickly, going from the bottom tier of teams in 2020 to a 6th place finish, where they beat Impact, Damage, and Revo all in a row at Chicago in 2021. Led by owner Dave Pando and coach Robbie Goldsmith, their roster was filled with up-and-coming, homegrown Midwest talent and no hired guns.
We are not guns for hire. We are not a big budget team. We are locally grown. We're organic. We are non-GMO. We are just a bunch of homegrown best friends.
Level's line had been coalescing into a refined form, with a core arising to meet the competitive moment in the NXL.
Going into Sunshine, we were confident, but also we still were playing like we were underdogs, which we love. We love being the underdogs. We love playing with a chip on our shoulder. We love when teams underestimate us. And I think it's just the nature of when you're a new team, you're always underestimated. You know, you're always seen as a lesser team when you're playing some of the big dogs. Luckily, in the previous season, we had a little bit of success against some of the big dogs. And so we were always confident, but I still felt like going in, people weren't perceiving us as a legit team yet. And we were excited to try again and see if we could do it, if we could prove to the world that we were a legit paintball team. And luckily we did.
Their two main weapons were Danny Schonauer as the starter on the Snake side and Sam Silberg on the D side. But their ability to hang with top teams often came down to how they were able to thrive in the chaos that comes at the close of points, with their second attackers Corwin Weber, Matt Askren, and Josh Lemon, with depth and options off the bench as well. Columbus Level was looking like a team that could be a contender soon.
Our first game was against DMG, and it was a pretty back-and-forth match, and we ended up coming out on top on that one. And between the games, Robbie actually gave us a little talk about our match is going to be grinders. You know, we're not going to blow anyone out. We're going to have to fight tit for tat and for every foot that we take on the field.
Double Lucy, man. You got the first one, I got the second one.
Hey, Matt, you fucking win that game right there, dude. Fuck yeah, dude.
So we're starting back to Sunshine State. One of the things with our team is we seem to come out a little slower in our first matches of games. So we played level. They already had a match under their belt, and they had a good game earlier in the day. So we come out a little slow, you know what I mean? Maybe not warmed up enough.
When we go to play Gambit, the way I look at that game is that if somebody comes off a zone, you expect somebody else is going to pick it up. So it's a hard situation because you don't know, do I really have this move or are they just baiting me? Because the discipline that those guys have is just top notch.
So we gave them a lot of practice time. Like, we were their sparring partner for 5 events. So we had an understanding of who they were. We knew their roster well. And at that time, we definitely went out and thought we were going to sun them. We thought they were the little brother, and the little brother stood up and punched us in the mouth.
You know, they were never easy on us, ever. And sometimes we'd go to these practices and maybe win a point or two an entire weekend. But the best part is when we play them in matches and we come out on top, because it's like, you know, it's when little brother finally got his dunk on big bro in the basketball hoop in the backyard kind of situation.
Pando's even said it. He'll even give recognition that if Damage didn't give them what we gave them, they wouldn't be who they are. Obviously, they're working their asses off and they're doing everything they need to do to be where they're at, but we gave them the opportunity to play the higher echelon teams and not have to play divisional teams, right? Now people go to them.
So back and forth, it was so chippy, and we were talking a lot of trash that you probably can't hear too much on the webcast. They torched Danny one point in the Snake, and he must have gotten shot 50 times in the head. He comes off the field covered in paint, his yellow coming out of his teeth, and he's just laughing the whole time, and we go back out and do it again.
After the loss to Level, Damage would go on to take their anger out on the rest of the bracket, thrashing the Ironman, DMG, and Infamous. Every single win by the Mercy Rule with a combined score of 21-3. But in order for Damage to stay hot and go deep at this event, to win their first big tournament since 2013, they would have to get by the reigning champs in the quarterfinals.
But we learned a lot from it. That's the one thing I will say is we learned a lot from our losses. And, you know, going through the next couple matches, we were able to kind of beat teams down based on what we have done from before.
You know, and it was a good lesson to learn because we came out after that and smashed out all 3 teams. So we needed that kick in the balls to realize that we got to be better.
Wake the fuck up! Wake up! Let's fucking go, man! Wake the fuck up! At the fucking ghetto! I was still waiting on the second one. Where you get it? He just said kill the fucking 500 I grabbed. He run down fucking 500. Okay, another ghetto came out to 500. Wake the fuck up, man! Just push that fucking way! Hey! Stay together, boys. Stay together.
No one had played more paintball or trained harder for the first event than San Diego Aftermath. And it showed in their first 3 games of the prelims, where they took a couple wins in close one-point fights against Seattle Thunder and New York Extreme, and then destroyed the ML Kings in Game 3.
Might be a penalty on the ML Kings, and we are going to see a tie game.
Winner Mike Kim had retooled his roster after taking back the reins of control, although the team now had some heavy hitters on the squad, like Frank Antetomaso and Thomas Kim, brought in to help them have more firepower against the top teams. They ran into a wall against Houston Heat. They were completely shut down and shut out 0-6. Even at 3-1, they were forced into the wild card round, where Aftermath rematched the ML Kings, and this fight would be a much closer game.
This year is the same team from last year. We got the same, momentum. It definitely is working. First tournament we're making Sunday, and we're here to stay. We're gonna progress.
After making Sunday twice in a row, the ML Kings have been acquiring a reputation as the fastest team in the league who thrived when pushing a high pace and forcing opponents to play their aggressive style.
Punch him in the fucking face, let's go!
And the Kings came out as advertised with the first 3 points of the wildcard match against Aftermath, with Connor Kelly and Kyle Berry stepping up and taking the big early lead.
They have to run, we don't have to do shit. Let's fucking go.
But Aftermath remained undaunted. They fought back to tie the game up 4-4 with just 39 seconds left.
There might be a penalty on the ML Kings, and we are going to see a tie game. No, Hallberg stayed alive in that, too.
They don't get a penalty here.
Oh, look at this.
Hallberg gets the flag. Oh, the referee puts his hand back in his pocket.
And then Barrett comes through. They have 14 seconds to work with. I think Aftermath might be able to steal this win. Yep. Mesa's going to hit the afterburners.
San Diego Aftermath advanced to rematch Heat. But this game would be a completely different story than the 0-6 shutout beating that they took yesterday.
It was us! Eat that! That's our fucking fault!
And we ended up matching up against them in the first round of the quarterfinals. And it's hard to beat the same team twice in an event. And we played them, and they just kind of figured out a little bit of our game plan and played it a little bit different. We just didn't adapt right away, and we ended up going down a couple points. I think it was 5-0 with 8.5 minutes left.
I need the same 5 right here.
Tough game with Heat. We came out, jumped up 5-0. They fought their way right back into it. It was an even game back and forth. Came down to the end, and we won with a couple seconds left. DK's tired. We all know, buddy. Focus.
20 seconds of control. 20 seconds attack.
Hey, they're gonna run.
They taught us in the prelims. They beat our ass 6-0. So we had a lot to adjust and work on, and we did that, and here we are. What's different about being in Sunday now is you got to play tighter paintball. You can't throw points away. Every opponent has fought just as hard as we fought to get to this moment. So, you got to dig deep, and you just can't make mistakes. Whoever makes the most mistakes is probably going to lose, So that's the difference, we got new guys on the team, just trying to get that cohesion and that gel.
All you got to do is look back. I got it. All me.
This year's Aftermath team on paper is definitely better than last year's team for what it's worth, but you still have the gel factor. The best guys don't always make the best teams, so getting everybody to click together and support each other and simple things like that is kind of what we're trying to do right now, and that's the challenge ahead of us.
You have to listen, man. Josh is staying your way. I don't care, man. I'm the only one listening. No, you're fucking not.
Point approved.
Fuck, man. I was two shots cut off. I shoot him. Fucking dumbass fucking Ryan popped the top of that snake. I shot him and run the last. See when I was on the field before, staring at him.
Way to be coach.
Playing for a tough coach like Mike Hinman, in a league with zero room for errors, exerts a toll, but it can build excellence. Aftermath had fought through turbulence against a tough opponent, and there was more to come. They advanced out of the quarterfinals to face Dynasty in the semis.
Well, Dynasty, we come out, we play them the first match on Sunday, and you know, they've been hot for the last year, heavy. They've got everything they need, and then they go and add Archie, which I think is not talked about enough because he's one of the best player in the damn league. And he's a closer, man. You know, he plays every single spot. He could play the front, he could play the back. And I think he just kind of wheeled and dealed, and he beat us in some gunfights and kind of won him that match. But Dynasty is that type of team that, you know, they were able to plug a top-level person into a spot that they needed, and now they're just kind of running with it. So it's crazy to see, even after this much time, that they still have it, man.
Fucking let him be a wasted gun over there and come down this way.
Gonna get to this 3-pack here. Doesn't even shoot. Wow, what an amazing heads-up play from Chad Boucher.
We're gonna push the rear side. Keith's gonna push the big side. Look for the Dallas and Godzilla moves. Okay.
Dynasty took the early lead and Damage tied it up. Both teams were dealing with losing bodies early, as we were deep into the tournament and everyone had dialed in their shots.
Obviously points we would love to have back. Ryan played out of his fucking mind. Marcelo, his shot was ridiculous. Skinny had a great plan to shut down Keith to the point where we couldn't send him anywhere. He was literally dying going anywhere.
Dynasty went up 2 with 5 minutes and 28 seconds left, and Damage would keep pulling within 1. But Dynasty maintained control of the important moments.
You know, got to a point in the Damage game where we knew they had to come, so it became very easy to shoot bodies on the break, have a body advantage, not lose gunfights, make sure you win the point, make sure you win the game.
We were able to punch back. You know, we started flying down the Dorito side on them, got a couple points back on them. You know, we made it a game, but at the end of the day, you know, it's a game of small percents when you get to Sunday. And all it takes is 1 or 2 things, coin flips to go our way, and we win that. So we knew we were close, but we knew we weren't good enough, you know? We had to be better.
This is exactly what Damage needed with just 1 minute and 16 seconds left. They still have a chance. Got to close quick, though, and cannot let Archie get into the snake. Oh, and Archie's going to get blasted by Keith. And they actually trade out with Keith. And so, yeah, we're going to have a game still here.
You want to talk about Damage. Damage is one of the best teams in the league. And if you think about it, World Cup 2021, they met us first round Sunday. We beat them. We move on to win the tournament. If they don't play us, they're probably in the finals. That team is that good. They're probably in the finals, and we see them in the finals. And at any moment, they could beat us. Like, you know, it's the way Damage is.
They held off Damage's final full-field attack with just 43 seconds left and took a close 1-point victory to keep the team's win streak going and move into the semifinals to play another team from Southern California, San Diego Aftermath.
Yeah, so there we go. San Diego Dynasty going to be punching their ticket on into the semifinals, getting closer to another finals appearance. That would be 3 in a row.
We're, you know, watching these first couple games, trying to stay warm. You know, we did a lot of scouting last night, watched all of the Russians games, so we know exactly what they're going to do. We know exactly what we're going to do.
Hey, Thomas Holding!
They're fucking motivated, you know. We had 1 Sunday appearance last year, and, you know, now we know what to expect. It's not new to us now, so we're ready to go.
Our team is a momentum team. If we start off well, it snowballs. If we start off bad, it snowballs. So, you know, with each match that we win, we get better, we get more confident, we have less doubt, and we just keep playing better and better and better.
I feel good. We're excited. They're running 5 guys. We got 10, so we got a bigger pick crew, better pick crew. We love it. We got this one. Yeah, I think we're gonna probably try to play a few more than normal, just because we do have a bigger squad playing true Xball. We know we have the advantage there, so.
That Russian match on Sunday was a test. It was a test for us to see, had we really made it as an elite team, or were those prelims in the past just a fluke? Had we actually become a team that can contend, or were we just, some dudes that had really good batch of paint and some good lanes off the break? We really wanted to win that match. And for us, I will always remember when we found out that we drew the Russians, how the stars had just aligned. Like, of course this was going to be our test, to have to beat the Russians. Of course that's what we were going to have to get through to make it to the next step, which in our careers at that point was to win a match on Sunday. We'd been to Sunday, we hadn't won, and now here we were staring at the Goliaths of the Russian Legion to get there.
Legion on the right-hand side of your screen.
Yeah, don't know if they knew.
Goes Askren. Just like I said, Askren's going to come through. He's going to take out Kirill's perfect move here from Matt Askren.
Matt had seen that gap, but he does get a kill on Sergey before he gets caught. Oh, and it looks like he's going to draw a penalty.
Here comes Weber. Going to stitch up Brittany. And then Brittany's going to catch a bunch extra. Kind of looks back like, really? Oh, and then Weber gets shot from his own guy.
There's an amazing point in that match where it's a 2-on-2. Sam Silberg, the fucking stud. He's on the D side, but Kirill's in the center, and the other Russian player is on the Dorito side as well. Sam picks that up. Instead of going down and trading with the Dorito guy, he goes inside, bunkers out Kirill in the center, and then the Dorito guy just took off, trying to find Sam. Sam recognized it, dunked on him, hung the buzzer with the player still alive for the Russians to get us a point. That point was sick. That was a huge momentum booster for us, and that just proves that Sam is so clutch sometimes, so clutch. And against the Russians, to be able to pull off a move like that was so motivational for our team. A big part of the win, I think, was Sammy's big move on the running up the middle and dunking on him.
Hey, Joe.
We win 3 in a row, and at this point, we're like, holy shit. Like, not only can we win, we are winning, and we're winning against the Russian fucking Legion.
They're the first attacker.
Yeah, Sergey was the one that made there, but I think the damage has been done already, and yeah, here comes the double dose of
Oh!
So Kirill caught those extra bonus balls, and that's Kirill giving it back to him.
Kirill, angry Kirill. That's angry Kirill.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4-4, 2 minutes left. It's obviously a big moment in the game, and Danny gets in the snake. He's super clutch, shoots a couple guys. We win the point, and that was the last point scored in the match, right? But that's not a surprise. That's what Danny fucking does. He's a dog.
Over there in the V, and then that is going to do it here. Legion needs to concede this point.
Surprised they're not.
Right?
It's a little late there.
Come on. Let's go. We got one more. Timeout, boys. No timeouts. Let's finish this shit right now.
Guys, listen. This is why we're here. We're up 1 point against the Russian fucking Legion on Sunday. Dig in right here. Leave it all on the field. Right motherfucking now level. Let's go.
Legion's going to need to do something miraculous out here. 3-on-5.
Sergey doing what he can through the middle.
Here comes Level Up, going to move up, but Askren gets shot out. Now just 4 bodies left alive. As Smotroff gets shot, he tries to somersault back.
And that's it.
And that is going to do it. Columbus Level knocking out the legends of Legion to move on into the semifinal.
Unreal, Matty.
Are you kidding me?
This was our biggest tournament we've ever had, and it was kind of proving to ourselves that, like, we are capable of doing this. We are a team that deserves and belongs to be here. So everything after this was just going to be icing on the cake. No pressure.
Captain. There we fucking go. Fuck yeah, dude.
But it wasn't just for us. It wasn't. It was one of the best days of my paintball life as the owner. The players, I know it was a big milestone to check off on their paintball careers, but we also felt like we were winning for our entire network of paintball players back home. for all the players in Ohio, for Pennsylvania. I mean, most of us aren't from Columbus. It's a lot of Cleveland and Cincinnati, Toledo, Akron. I mean, we represent a big network of paintball players, and we were so proud to be able to deliver that win home for everybody. It means a lot. It means a lot not just to us, but it means a lot to the field, to the rec players, to the beginners. I mean, that win, I feel like, was more than just a win. It was more of a crown jewel achievement of our team and our careers.
From playing our first pro finals ever. All right, this is an opportunity we're gonna fucking have, and let's fucking make the most of it. Way to go! Way to fucking go! So proud of you guys. Give me a fuck Danny on three. 1, 2, 3, fuck Danny!
I'm so proud you remembered that. Love you, Danny.
The Saints had fixed their problems and they were looking strong Sunday morning. They ran up a huge lead against Infamous in the wildcard match 5-0 and took a solid win 7-3. Infamous had made too many early mistakes, and the Saints made them pay.
We went up big on them. I think it was 4 or 5-0, and then they scored 2 quick points. And then they just started bonus balling us and walking us off the field while they were losing 2 minutes left. We didn't want to start that game, but if they want to play that game, I'm all for it.
The show of emotion in a game that wasn't even close proved J-Rav's motivation and desire for greatness still lived inside him. He and his team were now mentally sharpened for the grudge match coming next against Impact. It would be the closest game they played on Sunday.
Every step that we took instilled more confidence in the guys, instilled more confidence in myself, and then I think that confidence was just kind of protruding out of everybody on and off the field, and everybody just felt that. You could feel it rising up, like in our meetings, in our huddles. Whenever we talked anything paintball, you could just kind of feel that rise to the occasion and that level of confidence, that elevation that we had.
The quarterfinals game did not start out well for the Saints. Even though they were shooting a body early every point, they had survivability and penalty problems. They were down 3-1, and then they went on to score 3 unanswered points to take a 1-point lead. Impact would come back to tie the game up twice, and the moves and the gunfights went blow for blow. It was 5-5 with just 41 seconds left in regulation. Alex Rodriguez ran through the center looking for kills. Impact drew a penalty, which destroyed their chances. Alex Goldman used his speed to get to the buzzer with just 3 seconds to spare. The starting line for the Saints was on a hot streak. They were still building momentum as they went into the semifinals to play Columbus level.
We're right there.
One game at a time.
Together. We are right fucking there. It's almost there, boys. Let's reach out and fucking grab it.
Hey, I don't know about y'all, but I feel good.
I want this!
Latin! 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 Keep that fucking energy, boys. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team! Let's stay together.
I played with Impact for 6 years, man. Nothing but respect for that organization. Bart, Dave, all the players from top to bottom. We knew this one was going to be a grinder. That was probably the best shooting team off the break that we've faced, and we overcame adversity, man. I mean, they really took it to us in the beginning of the match, and I think Sunday is just a mental game, and we just kept our heads in it, stayed positive in the pits, and just worked through the struggles. Kept fighting, stayed in the fight the whole match, and little by little just started climbing to the top and went up a point on them at the end, and it was too tough for them to try to fight back, and we took that one.
Going into the tournament, I had no confidence that we would ever make Sunday, ever. Even when, that first day where we lost a match and we were barely grinding points down to just stay alive. It was really tough. It's a lot to ask for any player to play every single point. And then come Sunday, how many matches and how many points, you know, you have to play, you have to grind, you're beating yourself up all weekend. So to be able to only rely on 5 dudes was not enough. And I did not have that confidence going into the tournament that we would make Sunday, let alone make the finals in our debut event.
So yeah, we're going to play the Saints. I was looking forward to this game because we had to practice them earlier in the week at Tiki's in Florida, and we got into some pretty big disputes on the field where there's some overshooting going on, some arguing, all the normal stuff at practice. But you know, I think that score had not been fully settled.
For both the Saints and Level, this would be their first ever semifinal appearance. But would it be the all-star veterans or the hungry Midwesterners who proved that they were ready for this big moment at the first event of the season?
So we knew going into the Saints match, this was the furthest we'd ever made it, and we all believed that we could win this event. I mean, we had beaten the Russians, who have won events. We'd beaten Damage, who's won events. Infamous, who's won events. There's no reason for us to doubt ourselves. You know, we went into this match fully believing we are capable of winning it.
Penalty. That's going to do it here. Major penalty, worst case scenario. And point number 1, that's going to take Danny.
In the beginning of the game, it was looking dire for Level. But after going down 0-3, a few big moments at different times from Chase Cranmer, Josh Lemon, and Corwin Weber kept Level close and then pushed them forward to tie the game.
Our roster is very dynamic and complete. And who starts the match and who actually impacts the match are sometimes much different. Chase and Justin in particular do an incredible job of coming in, having big points, big moments that not only create big opportunities, but usually either change or continue the momentum we have. And some of those guys coming off the bench just had a huge impact at this event in particular.
It was 4-4 with just 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to go.
Danny Diggs runs a little bit high, but makes snake 1.
Oh, they finally shoot him out. Body come out. Yeah, they shoot mouse.
4-on-4, 3-on-4 advantage for the Saints. 3-on-3, man.
Right there, snake insert. He's going to try and get the snake really quick.
Weber coming up there. He's going to get 1. Oh, major penalty assessed.
Against Level, unfortunately.
There, boys.
The Latin Saints took another close victory, and they headed to the finals. Level would pack their bags and wait for another chance at the next event in Texas.
If you can get 3rd place, like, you know, obviously winning is the next step, but it's not that far away, and it's going to happen.
Believe in each other, man. If you didn't believe in it before, believe it now. Hey, we got one more. We have one fucking more. I don't know about y'all, but I still feel good.
Saints! Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team! Let's go!
That team is, every time we play them, it's like they're gonna give you like their absolute best, and they play a style that is hard to beat. Can't make mistakes on Aftermath. They lure you into getting bored with what you're doing, your job, and they lure you into making a mistake of your own. They did a fantastic job of it.
Aftermath used the momentum from the big win against Heat as fuel in the beginning of their match versus Dynasty in the semifinals. Joe Barrett got crafty against Ryan Greenspan in the first point, as Aftermath was playing more aggressive and shooting key bodies early.
And it looks like they're even trying to take some ground here, snake side with Montemayor, as he might have got clipped, and he does. So it's good zone control. Off the break for Aftermath. Oh, he throws the pod. Oh, and it worked. It worked. He threw the pod at the brick, and he suckered him into the trap. And Greenspan knew it. The old dog got suckered into an old trick.
The toughest match we had all of Sunday. Literally, everybody on our team said that was the finals match.
Greenspan closing the gap, trying to get some revenge here on Barrett.
Check through your pod now, bro. Greenspan a little bit nervous to go up the middle now that he knows Barrett's up there. Barrett's not messing around. Barrett goes up, shoots Ryan Greenspan out.
Barrett going to work.
Barrett going to work, gets another kill. Archie goes to Canada.
Aftermath had us on the ropes. We were down that whole match. We were down 2-0, and then we scored a point. Then we lost a point. We're down 3-1. And it's like, okay, a lot of time's ticking off.
Dynasty is trying to, that's a constant.
They fought back to tie with 2:45 left. And then Archie Montemayor and Ryan Greenspan stepped up to put what would be the winning point on the board.
Kill one, they can probably close this point out. If not, it's going to go overtime.
Well, and you know, Archie has a ball right now, for sure.
Now Dynasty also moving up on the D side, trying to close this one out and take a lead. Just 37 seconds left to go to see if Dynasty can steal this one. Oh, but Archie doesn't know that Mason's still alive. Doesn't matter, though, because Greenspan's still there, and Greenspan is going to be able to get this last kill, potentially. Is there still another body over there? No, there's not, and San Diego Dynasty is going to steal the win here with just 10 seconds, 11 seconds.
Aftermath's run was done, and Dynasty advanced to the finals for the third consecutive event.
And it was so close. I mean, you look at that first event, we so easily could have lost it. We so easily could have not made it to the finals because of Aftermath.
Aftermath going for it here, only 6 seconds left. Look for red flags. See a red flag on Dynasty. It'll tie the game.
5 Aftermath players have been eliminated.
Not going to do it. Dynasty going to take the victory. Again, just relentless. Dynasty undefeated at this event. Coasted through the prelims 4-0. Matched up against Damage. Damage was playing tough, knocked them out. And then now here, Aftermath in the semifinals, and it was close. Another 1-point game. That is going to do it here, as big congratulations to San Diego Dynasty, even without Blake Yarber. No hitches in their step whatsoever.
And congratulations to Aftermath, right?
Yeah, man. Hey, top 4.
Way to
it's
start
like
a
level,
season.
right? You know, making it all the way to top 4.
Way to start a season, guys. Congratulations.
Aftermath looking very strong. Definitely going to be a threat to win tournaments here, and they're just going to keep getting better.
At that point, we had so much confidence, we had so much fire, we had so much momentum. We all thought we were going to win, including myself. We all thought that we were going to win. Whenever you start making those runs, whether you're on the best team in the world in those moments or you're just on, you know, the team that we were on, when you go on a run like that, that momentum, that confidence that you are grinding into your brain, you have that belief that you can do anything, you can conquer anything. And I think that we all had that belief. We all believed going into that match against Dynasty that there was no doubt that we could win that match.
The way that J-Rab and Mouse specifically were playing on that snake side was not to be taken lightly. Like when we saw them in the finals, like, okay, this is a completely different team than we played in the prelims. That's how we felt. It was not the same team. It was like in the prelims, it was this new team. They were trying stuff out. They were all together and they wanted to like experiment. Brandon Short was the coach. He's like, oh, we're gonna try this, try that, yada yada. Let's just get to Sunday. By the time we saw them Sunday in the finals, things had completely changed. That team was now tighter. They were more solidified. They were more defined in their roles. They were playing more team paintball. They were scary.
In the first point, both teams dropped a body early. Basilos Cortez for the Saints and Archie Montemayor for Dynasty dying off the break. Dalton Vanderbilt was on the Saints side of the field in seconds, but was quickly shot, as was Alex Rodriguez from the center 50 brick. It was 3-on-2 Dynasty within the first 32 seconds. Dynasty cleaned up the last bodies, and they put the first point on the board. The second point, Dynasty shot Alex Goldman off the break. They lost Montemayor again. Rodriguez went untouched into center 50 brick. Greenspan, feeling pressure from the D side, switched off the snake lane to get a look, which allowed Rabakov to fill the snake and charge forward to the 50-yard line, where he popped the top to get the inside kill on Greenspan. Marcelo Margot made a clutch fill to get outside containment on the snake side. It was now 3-on-4 in favor of the Saints, in control of all the crucial forward positions. Dynasty shot Rodriguez out of the brick to even the count, but Cortez attacked, trading with both Arturo Andrade and Yosh Rao, leaving Margot in a tough 1-on-2. It was a situation that he excels at.
Oh, but look at this. On the jump shot, Marcelo Margot going to turn this into a 1-on-1.
I think Marcelo has a better spot. He'll probably go inside eventually.
at the move here by Marcelo. Doesn't even know he's there. Oh, and Marcelo gets the drop on him.
Just a beautiful job on Marcelo Margot. He's going to get some fives and some big back pats as he goes into the pits, playing the hero yet again.
D-Y-N-A-S-T! No, we fucking done that. We know that. We know that.
Now down 2 with 8.5 minutes left, the Saints lost Cortez off the break, and Dynasty posted up on the lanes with the lead in the numbers, burning time off the clock.
Look at the calm composure from Dynasty across the board. They're just rolling guns.
They contained the Saints and attacked up the center, with Margot getting into the snake to match Goldman. Greenspan and Margot finished off the point to take a 3-point lead with less than 3.5 minutes to go.
I would definitely concede this point right now.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of weight on Mouse.
But look at Alex Goldman, side to side, all the way to
yeah,
the
but Ryan picked him up.
As expected, down points and with little time left, the Saints pushed forward hyper-aggressive. They were able to put up a few points on the board. Dynasty was never in any real danger of giving up the lead. Final score, 5-2.
Let's go, Saints! It's not fucking over. Keep fighting. Come on!
I think it lit a fire in everybody's eyes and everybody's minds going forward in terms of we can do this. We can change the game, and we can be the best team in the world.
They're coming.
They have no choice right now. They're going to run out wide, going heavy guns up, see if Archie can make it out clean, and he does. Alex Coleman and Archie get in each other's face right now, and they get separated. I like the spirit out of Archie. Yeah, this could get interesting. Yeah, this could get interesting because the Saints are going to take a loss here.
Oh, big move. Seals Cortez goes all the way into. Oh, last second gets shot.
Unstoppable. They haven't lost a game in 2 events.
They're playing pretty good paintball, man.
Congratulations, San Diego Dynasty. Urena's going to get some water dumped on him and a big hug from Dalton Vanderbilt, but
great job.
Unbelievable historic performance here yet again from San Diego Dynasty. 2 World Cups in a row, 3 events in a row. They are the team to beat right now, and it's not even close.
RG had a huge event. He played the snake side completely different than everybody else. Never dove really once, in the whole event. But it was interesting being on the sideline watching my team play. Now I can see all these microscopic things, and it was good to just relay and feed that information to my guys. Just give them the positive notes and what they were missing.
Dynasty had done it yet again. 3 events and 21 games in a row. But had they reached the peak of their powers? Or was this still just the beginning of a historic run? Next up, Texas, where the fates could twist and change, with new stories and heroes emerging and thriving in their own potent, defining moments.
Dynasty. Let's go, boys.
Welcome to day one's competition at the 2023 NXL Lone Star Major. We're here in Austin, Texas. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Rich Telford. To start out this battle, it's going to be San Antonio X Factor taking on NRG Elite and San Diego Aftermath taking on the Latin Saints. So many compelling stories evolving and changing out here in the second event of the year. X Factor finishing 5th overall at the first event. Got a chance to talk to Colt Roberts, some of the boys from that team there. Very, very hyped for this one. They feel like they have a decent chance to win this tournament and get back on the board with the big W. I think they got a chance too. NRG Elite has been improving though, Rich. They've looked really good. They've made some Sundays. I really like that starting lineup. And then also in this set with Aftermath and the Saints, both on a rebuild. So yeah, some compelling narratives.
Yeah,
kicking things off at day one. Yeah. What do you think about this NRG Elite X Factor match?
Well, obviously X Factor, right? Much farther along in the development. I think, though, NRG did something a little differently this event. They practiced against themselves. Like most teams like to practice against other guys, but they practiced against themselves. So I'm really interested to see if that helped them develop better or different game plans than everybody else. So in that match, that's kind of the story I'm watching.
Yep.
And also, where's NRG on their development, right?
I heard, so when I talked to X Factor guys and heard, the people that played against them, they played really well in practice. They seem to have
really
this,
good at paintball.
Yeah, they seem to have this field dialed. And let's talk about this field a little bit. Obviously, you coach in New York Extreme. Congratulations on the top 4 at the first event.
Thank you very much.
We always joke about Rich Telford's dark horses, but people were asking me, hey, give me a legit dark horse to win this tournament. And I said, you know what, New York Extreme.
Wow.
If they can get it together and play as cohesively as they did at that first event with the big chip on their shoulder and the fire that we saw in an unconventional layout, I think they got a chance.
I think they have a chance, too. It's just, can they come out and do that again? Like, obviously, at some point, we're going to get there, right? Is it going to be this event? Or is it going to be the next event? Is it going to be 2 years from now? It's up to the guys to kind of figure that out and how much intensity and how much fire they can bring to this.
We will see them at 11 o'clock taking on the ML Kings. But, I wouldn't call X Factor a dark horse, but this is this is a regular stock field, man. If you look up a normal paintball field in the dictionary, you're going to see something that kind of looks like this. Other than the fact that there is no back bunker on the snake side out wide, other than that, it's about it. Snake's makeable. There's going to be some chaos in the center with the big bricks. The D side, it can be very productive over there. You got a huge gap, though, to try to get across.
Texas, too.
They definitely do. Not quite a hometown event as they are kind of spread out, but they got some Austin guys here. So
close enough.
Close enough.
They'll definitely have some fans.
Texas, a mecca of paintball. We see the boys from San Antonio X Factor. They're on your screen in the blue and the black, about to get things kicked off
Can't wait
here.
To watch. Sorry. Billy Bernacci and the snake.
Yeah, Billy is a legend in that snake position. It's the really long set of bunkers, and it is a dominant position. This snake can be very productive from it. It runs essentially the length of the field, but you're probably going to have an enemy in there with you. If you see a player get in there by himself, then you're going to have a real big chance to steal the point from the snake side. But yeah, talk to me about just the themes you saw that were consistently prevalent on this layout.
So we practice against Dynasty, the best team in the world, and usually when they're doing things, it has a lot of merit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the play that they were most successful with was 3 guys snake side, 1 guy in the middle, 1 guy D side. They had 2 guys in the back kind of support the first snake guy. The first snake guy goes through, gets the kills. The second 2 guys support that guy. The middle, there are some options up the middle, and if you can get up the middle undetected, Matty, you can shoot a bunch of people. But most people see them when they go up the middle. And then the Dorito side, it can be really fast if nobody's looking, right? But any one guy on the snake side shooting that cross gap can really slow that field down. So it's actually a really technical field. It's a lot more technical than the last one we played, where everyone played it the exact same way. I think it's going to start off a little bit fast, and then I think it's going to slow down by Saturday because, again, there's just some really big lanes out there.
Yeah, always the development and the strategy and the tactics on the layout progresses throughout the event. Day one, typically a little bit faster, as you only have 1 weekend on this layout to figure it out.
I feel like no one's where we usually are at this point. Like everyone's having those conversations that they would be having on the second weekend. Last night in those meetings,
and also with one less weekend, traditionally past couple of years you've had 2 layout weekends, now just 1. But I saw some pro teams practicing for 4 hours yesterday.
So the top pro teams are really, really smart, right? They got all the low teams and all the middle pack teams to be like, hey, we'll take a weekend off and save some money. And all the pro teams are flying their guys in now and practicing 7-8 days in a row. and giving themselves a huge advantage.
So NRG Elite going to be taking on San Antonio X Factor here in point number 1. NRG Elite, also interesting story for them too. Been around for a couple years. They made the first Sunday, but taken 10th, losing in the wild card. But Rich, they really started to get some production. You know,
they made a
Jansen,
couple
their
of
coach,
pickups.
yeah, they really only run about 7 guys.
Yeah.
But man, those 7 guys have started to become very lethal. Elliot Weaver has become a beast. Travis Trawick has become very consistent. We'll see Trawick probably on that D side mostly. Buffton in the back as that second attacker, third attacker. He's been very consistent as well. And then Bowen's a bowling ball out there. They're getting a pretty deep roster as far as their starting 5-6 is concerned.
Well, and the difference between the two teams, right, is X Factor, a bunch of superstars, only practice together and play together kind of on those layout weekends or specific weekends throughout the year. NRG guys play every single weekend are playing together, right? So they have that cohesion and it allows them to play above their ability because they play together so much, right? They can go out and compete with a team like X Factor with 5 or 6 superstars in their lineup and kind of be at a close to an even keel just because they spend so much more time playing together and their teamwork is better because of it.
Yeah, time behind the gun's important, right? And with X Factor,
the most important.
Yeah, they also, past couple seasons, or last year specifically, had to do a little bit of tinkering with their roster. They've been rotating some guys through. They had a big pickup in the offseason after losing Rainey Stanzik in this offseason, and then Archie Montemayor the year before. They got Jesse Stevens back, Cody Minkowski from Infamous. Meter's been holding it down from TJ Danner's back and healthy.
It's so funny when you see a guy like Cody who's been Infamous and you just are used to seeing him in Infamous jersey. You see him in X Factor jersey, you're like, who's that? You're like, oh, that's right, it's Cody.
So it looks like first body to drop is going to be from San Antonio X Factor. Meteor Nino's taking a walk from the backfield.
Yeah,
don't see Meter die early often.
No, and he got shot out of that yellow can over there, which is the spot can. They're our insurance company that's helping us out here with the league. Billy Minacci is calling the cross shot on the small Dorito from that first snake beam. Matt, he can shoot across and put a lot of pressure on those Doritos guys inside.
Yeah, both teams with a player in that, call that snake 1. It's not quite in the snake, but essentially it's snake 1. That's the safest place to be.
Or snake corner.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. There is no
both said that last night in the meeting. I'm like, that's actually a good read. That is the snake corner.
X Factor now with 2 bodies on that D side, getting outside into D2. Small Dorito on the outside, and TJ Danner into D1. So looking pretty good, though, even losing Meter. But also, NRG Elite looking pretty good right now, too. 5 bodies alive, so it's 5-on-4 in favor of NRG Elite, Rich.
And we were talking earlier about the field, Matty. The wing here on the snake side, some of the teams are using that as a defensive position to keep the snake from going forward. And right now, the guy in the wing for NRG is keeping Billy Bernacci from going outside and going down. He's got someone else shooting the inside cut, so he can't go forward from that lay-down beam in snake 1 or snake corner.
Well, one of the big pickups for NRG Elite in the offseason was getting Betancourt, Louis Betancourt, a.k.a. Chewy. And he plays real good when he's playing on his toes and trying to force the issue. Absolutely. So look to see Betancourt to get here into the snake quickly. Still kind of in that, the back snake bunker.
So this is our first point.
Yep.
Already a little long today, and I was just going to be like, oh my God, because everyone's walking around field. That's going to be so fast. It's going to be so fast. I was like, I don't think so.
Well, when we first looked at this layout, when it dropped with no back bunker on the snake side, NRG Elite losing the body from that wedge that Rich was just talking about. So now it's going to be 4-on-4, which could elongate this point a little bit. Heading out to the spot bunker. Buffton going to back up Betancourt. Betancourt's popping the top right now, looking like he wants to move up.
Bold.
X Factor tries to pick him up as he gets into Snake 2.
Want to call it Snake 2?
Yeah, let's just call it Snake 2. We got to find a good name for that little mini wall on the outside, because that bunker's going to be hot all weekend.
Oh yeah, for sure. That bunker right there, and the what we call the 20, which is the second big Dorito on the other side. Those 2 guys on the cut that you see right there can control the whole field.
Yeah, we're looking over the shoulders right now. San Antonio X Factor with Minkowski at the spot bunker. And here comes Betancourt. So this is when he thrives, is when he is pushing forward. And so 4-on-4, he's at the 50-yard line here. Snake side looking cross field. There's our eye in the sky look. NRG Elite from the red side. San Antonio X Factor from the blue side. Yeah, long point here, Rich.
Yeah,
we're
good
heading up on a 3-minute point
good back and forth. And NRG has a little bit more penetration on the D side. They've got that D3 over there. X Factor's a little bit back farther, but both teams are really kind of playing a slow, methodical game here, Matt. Neither team are looking to really, Betancourt could have gotten to Billy Snake, but he didn't. He came back. They could cross that 50 and go into the Doritos on the other side. But everyone, is playing kind of slow and smart because they don't want to lose that first point, because if you're right, Matty, if you're right and this field is going to slow down, when a team goes up 1 or 2 points in the beginning of a match, it's almost like you're drowning. It's like, oh my God, the water's just getting deeper and colder and deeper and colder, and I can't get my head above water.
And there's sharks out there.
Because if you put that where Billy is right now on that cut, Dorito side, you put that tower next to him on that same cut, and you put the Dorito on the other side, inside cut.
You're not moving.
You could have 70 or 80 players down here that were really good at paintball, and none of them are getting up the field unless those guys run out of paint.
And you know, we say this every time when we have slower fields, is that points come at a premium, and every point's more important. If you're playing 9 points out there, each
you
point
can make some mistakes.
Yeah, because point spread is important, but ultimately you just got to win the game.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that many opportunities to score points and you go down a few quick, then it can become problematic. Right now, Billy Bernaccia is going to fight his way, and here comes TJ Danner. He's going to be moving up on the D side as well.
Yeah, when it's a 3-point match, every little mistake is huge.
And here comes
TJ going forward over there.
Yeah, Parrish is now.
Parrish, there he goes.
Off to the races.
And it gets the penalty.
Oh, penalty assessed here on San Antonio X Factor. Is it a red or is it a yellow? Looks like it's going to be
red.
A major penalty assessed on Parrish. That's going to open the door here for NRG Elite in point number 1.
Yeah, Parrish, strong player for Ironman and for X Factor, but a few little like that, getting that penalty in that first point and getting a major. That's a big ouch.
Yeah, and it looked like
I would expect more out of him.
Well, they had control over there, right?
100%.
You know, so he was at the 50, saw the move, went and made it. I didn't see where he got hit. I was on the opposite side of the field. TJ right behind him, but drawing that major penalty, and that was, that cost him. Definitely cost X Factor that first point, because it looked like, Betancourt was over here, but with the control on that D side with TJ right behind him, one bunker behind him.
And it's another thing if it's a 4-on-1 or a 3-on-1, you're like, hey, I tried to make a big move to win this point for us because we were going to lose it for sure. But when it's a 4-on-4, you've got field position, you got Billy Bernaccia and Markowski over here in the snake. You're good.
All right, so jumping in, point number 1 here, San Diego Aftermath, Latin Saints. Both these teams doing a bit of a rebuild, different stories, but on the breakout, looks like
I like that
5-on-5 break. Yeah, both squads. A little bit better field position for the Saints, though. Rich.
Aftermath pockets up, and that's their. That's one of the questions we have to ask here early in the day. Is can we get outside on both tapes, or is it better to pocket up? Is there one tape we can get in on and pocket out on the other side? And Aftermath is helping us answer that question. They did not shoot anyone on the break, and they stayed in the pocket, and that's the risk, right? If you stay in the pocket and you don't shoot anybody on the break, you put yourself at a little bit of a disadvantage.
Aftermath eventually getting out into the insert bunker with Morris, but playing the aggressors here on both sides of the field. Does look like the Saints, though, maybe a little slip and fall, trying to get outside into D2. He's going to take the walk, so 4-on-5 situation in favor of Aftermath, and then Aftermath also slips and falls and gets cut in half as he tries to get up to the stand.
Apparently it's slippery out there, Matt.
A little bit. So 4-on-4 now. Better field position for the Saints, though, as they have a body into Snake 2.
Yeah, and you can kind of see, Matty, this 3-man over here.
Yeah.
The one guy in the can over there is the island, right? And you're going to see a lot of that this weekend.
A lot of 3 Snake way. Yeah. Oh, body dropping 4. It's a bad death.
3-on-5.
Here for the Saints, dying out of his spot as another body tries to get back, and he gets torched on a little tactical retreat. So very quickly, it's down to just 3 bodies out there, or 2 bodies out there for the Saints.
2-on-4 advantage for Aftermath.
Aftermath didn't need to do much. They just got a couple kills, a couple gunfight wins.
Saints do have that Dorito corner, and that Dorito corner is a really strong corner, but they lose their snake guy now, so it's a 1-on-4. Might want to think about conceding this point, saving some paintballs.
Yeah, it was Portman in the snake. He's going to take the walk, and then here comes that last kill for Aftermath, and they're going to get a pretty easy first point here. Didn't need to do anything spectacular, just some solid paintball and gunfight wins.
And what I like about Aftermath there is they gave no reads, right? They played the pocket, so you can't scout them, right? That didn't help you at all. And they were able to get outside after playing the pocket, which means they don't have to risk anybody on the break, and they can still make the key positions, and that's a real good feeling after winning that first point.
Didn't really show their hand with any sort of play. It was a pretty it was very conservative play.
Very mature, conservative play for a young and up-and-coming team. Good coaching staff over there.
Yeah, it's an interesting story with Aftermath. They're out of ASG, a little outside of LA in Southern California, and going with mostly some homegrown talent. And Southern California has been a hotbed and a mecca of paintball for generations. And they have some scrappy guys on that squad, so just not a ton of high-level experience over there. That's the issue, and the question to be answered for Aftermath is, are they prepared to contend at this level? And heading into point number 2, Going to double up that back center here for both teams, actually.
X Factor with a big bite on the D side, taking the baby Dorito over there, Matt. Now going from that baby Dorito into Dorito 3.
Jesse Stevens.
The snake side,
yeah, Jesse Stevens is going to try to fight his way into the snake, but X Factor's already into D3, and so is NRG Elite. So it's mirrored up on the D side.
Yeah. And I think that's probably more Betancourt style play over there than Doritos than over here on the snake side.
Well, right now, you talked about this, just talked about it, Rich. There's 4 bodies from the center on over to the snake and just 1 on the D side here for X Factor.
And guess how many times we're going to see that this weekend?
Probably a lot.
You can start naming the bunkers. This is hot. This is going to be hot. This is going to be hot. This is going to be hot.
TJ Danner is starting to fill out, though, towards that D side. Got out from the back center, slides into the stand-up can. Colt Roberts going to be cleaning his gun a little bit.
Core sample.
Did he core sample?
Yeah. You can see the big divot right behind him where he core sampled.
So he's got Jesse Stevens in front of him, but Betancourt, again, is going to play the aggressor here, be the first to go on the snake side.
Yep.
Got out of that insert, gets into snake 2, and he's looking cross field.
A lot of penetration for both of these teams on the Doritos. And if that guy can just get over there and stay alive, Matt, then that can allow that team to have 1 guy stay in the middle as the pivot and 3 guys to push to the snake side.
NRG Elite filters up to the wedge.
Interesting.
Ooh, losing Tom Guest.
Yeah, and so X Factor's playing that bunker a little differently. Most people play that power tower on the D side. He was playing on the snake side, so that's interesting, but Betancourt was able to easily eliminate him out of there.
Yeah, and we don't see Tom die much out of his spot. His stalking trade is being a big gun and a survivor.
Yeah.
And then attacking up the center typically.
Betancourt,
they
bad death.
They eat up Betancourt. Yeah, that's a bad death for Chewy.
Especially now, Matt, they've got 2 on 1 situation over here. And now, so if X Factor just goes forward and just does the math game, right? The first guy goes and trades with the other guy. The second guy goes through and wins that game. They messed up by not containing that back center. They let Buffton fill out. That was a mistake.
Jesse, intelligently here, not feeling pressure from in front of him, sees Chewy walk off, and he hits the deck and crawls up to the 50. So X Factor in a good spot right now, Rich. They got Colt Roberts behind Jesse Stevens.
Yeah, the shot for well, Jesse's got a big rub spot on the back of his shoulder. Looks just like a hit. But the shot for Jesse is not on the inside, Matt. It's wrapping from the outside and putting pressure on the God and the wet yellow can because he pushes those guys into the guns on that side.
He can keep the outside and contained over here.
Perfect.
There's no one farther out wide on this paintball field right now than Jesse Stevens.
Yeah.
So got to be worried about those inside angles, too. There are a lot of them in the snake, but there's only that 1 body in D3 that he needs to worry about from that angle, and now he's going to be able to get up. It's blocked out from the pin. Can't shoot D3 from this position, but he is protected. So he's going to have a nice little angle to hit the deck and continue his attack. Colt Roberts is going to filter up behind him. NRG Elite loses Trowick out of that can, and they're going to be losing another body as Bowen takes the walk from D3. Trying to do a little damage control. Weaver comes up and stitches up Jesse. That was a
move by
beautiful.
Weaver.
Yeah, that was great.
I was just going to criticize him because he was in that temple looking across the field with somebody right in front of him. I'm like, he's not playing that right at all. But when he figured out what's going on, he should have played it right.
Yeah, Cole either was looking at a different angle or didn't have the angle to protect him from
the vision is
Weaver's
horrible
move
out
inside.
Matt.
Yeah.
So in the practice last weekend, teams would sometimes shoot 1 or 2 off the snake side and not know that they shot him.
Look at this, though. Weaver eating people up right now. A little 2-pack of kills for Elliott Weaver. He dunked on Jesse and then gets the nice crossfield kill here. And now he's pushing up the field. So has to worry about Colt Roberts. And he's going to run.
Love it.
Got to be careful not to get a penalty there. It looks like it's going to be clean. No penalty assessed, but that's a 3-pack of kills to keep NRG Elite in this one right now with just 6 minutes and 38 seconds left to go. Up by 1. Buffton's still alive. 1-on-1 right now?
Yep. And when we talk about up-and-coming teams like NRG level, oftentimes it's guys like Weaver, their number 2s, that are really stepping up for those teams and clocking in point after point and really supporting their 1s well.
Yeah, the 2s, we talk about the 1s a lot, and we have to because they're the ones in, kind of setting the tempo and the pace of the game. But a lot of times the 2s are what win or lose you tournaments. TJ Danner and Austin Buffton locked into a 1-on-1 right now. Got a Hormesis coin dual coin, special red and gold ones, just for instances like this in the big tournaments. TJ Danner is a master at 1-on-1s. Buffton's pretty good at these too. Oh, and it looks like TJ Danner going to prevail here in the 1-on-1. So TJ, I got another coin for you. He's won a couple of those already. And he's going to tie this game up here for X Factor.
So 5-minute points? Is that about what we're thinking about?
That's what it's looking like.
About 5-minute swings, guys?
Hey, again, I don't really care how long the points are as long as stuff is happening.
Yeah, as long as it's entertaining.
Yeah, as long as moves are being made. So we are seeing, for the most part, guys trying to make something happen and progress up the field. And You know, not just like getting to one spot, bringing 15 pods and, you know, just shooting lanes.
Like we would. No, I'm good, Matt.
Old and broken, bro. I
I'm good.
can't be diving into any snakes anymore, so.
Yeah, you were kind of like the mouse of our generation, right? 6 foot dude in the snake?
For a couple years.
Ridiculously good looking.
I was never that fast, though.
I wasn't going to say that,
A lot faster than I am now.
I wasn't going to say that.
A lot faster than you. Say that.
Shut up. I bet I can throw you off this faster than you can throw me off this.
Never even. You definitely could throw me off this.
What is that over there?
If I can run away from you, you ain't catching me. That's for damn sure.
I wouldn't even try, bro. Take one step and be, whatever. Matt, I've got a beer. I've got a beer, Matt. And he's back.
Ooh, heavy guns up
Again,
right
pocket,
now.
right?
Aftermath essentially went with almost pretty much 5 guns up.
Pocket, right? Pocket,
yeah,
pocket.
another that's 2 pocket plays in a row. So yeah, if you're scouting them, they're really not risking much. They keep 5 bodies alive, 2 points in a row. They didn't shoot anybody.
So I was going to say the only caveat to that is if you're going to pocket up, you really got to make those. It's almost like playing defense, right? Yeah. You've got to make your shot.
Yeah, we say it all the time. You don't play it, and you're going to hear me say it a bunch this weekend if this is going to be a slow-playing field. You play defense, you need to make your shots, and they did not. So it's 5-on-5. They allow the Saints to get out wide to this insert bunker.
Is it fair to say that every time you say that, someone should drink?
There's all sorts of webcast drinking games these days. I don't even know what all the rules are.
Well, I mean, if you're going to play defense, you've got to make your spots, and you've got to make your shots. So, yeah, Aftermath is, they lost their first guy. That's so bad. If that guy just stays alive in that Dorito, it's 5-on-5. You're in position, and you're up a point on a super defensive field. Like, you've made it really easy for yourself. All you've got to do is stay alive, which the other 4 guys in Aftermath seem to understand.
Well, repositioning a little bit here. As Saints get into the snake.
So they got into it last time. They weren't able to produce anything out of it, Matt. We'll see if they can produce something out of it this time. They're in a great position to protect him in that wing right inside. Now, you're going to see some of those teams play that wing and protect their snake guy, and you're going to see some teams not play that and not protect their snake guy. It will be interesting to see which of those ends up working out the best for the teams.
5-on-4 advantage currently here for the Latin Saints. They're also in good field position with this body here on your screen. He's at the 50-yard line, looking inside. Aftermath not giving him much.
Nope.
Playing real tight here for 4 bodies for Aftermath, just kind of watching zones.
And that's one of the things that we talked about from New York is because the guy can sneak into the snake mat and because you don't really know where he's at in there, you kind of always got to play like the snake is hot, kind of like we used to.
Mm-hmm.
And CJ had a really good comment, like the team that wins this event probably is not going to lose a couple bodies to that sneaky guy in the snake, right?
Oh,
They're going to play so tight that snake guy doesn't get those extra bodies here and there. And I thought that was a really good point. Play like it's hot.
Again, this is just standard paintball field, man. You know, you really got to play that traditional brand of paintball like Rich is talking about. And if you don't absolutely 100% know that snake doesn't contain a body, then yes, you need to play like it's hot because it runs the entire length of the field pretty much.
Well, and you can see that Aftermath and the Saints understand that, right? They've got the big wing in the inside, shutting down and protecting their snake guy, controlling the side of the field.
Some good communication here from the Saints.
Yeah, Saints owe 2 bodies over there on the D side now, Maddie, so it looks like they might be looking to attack over there.
Yeah, they have this one point deficit, so they are going to have to attack eventually.
Well, these are going to be 3-point matches at 5 points, 5 minutes per point, so they've got plenty of time.
Yeah, I'd be taking the under if I was a betting man.
It's funny, too, because you get the map on Wednesday, and you look at the map, and you're like, you can't really tell just by looking at the map. But as soon as you walk the field, you're like, oh, wow, this is a big lane. You could drive a truck through this lane. Oh, there's another big lane you could drive a truck through. Well, hopefully there's not anything on the other side of the field. Oh, there's 3 lanes you could drive a truck through.
Yeah, so
understanding and manipulating those lanes is going to be crucial.
Controlling the lanes. Talk about those specific lanes. Obviously, D side. It looks like tough.
The wing shoots that guy out.
Ramirez with a real bad death here from the Saints out of the 50-yard line. I mean, we have still 9 minutes and 40 seconds to work with. You're in the most important position on the field. You're up a body. That's a tough death.
Yeah, and that's good coaching, having that guy in that position to catch Ramirez there, right? That's the only guy who stops that guy from the 50 wrapping around.
The wedge.
Those guys, the wedge, yeah.
So talk about these lanes real quick. Talk the D side lane.
The D side lane, if you're in the snake 1 or the snake corner, and you look in front of that wing between that and the pin, you see all the way between the tower and the Doritos.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a gap over there that's about 70, 80 feet wide, right? The tower that's inside has that same gap, but 1 Dorito in front of that gap. And then the laydown over here has the gap in front of those Doritos on the cross. Yeah. That keeps the guys from going from the first Dorito into the second, third, and fourth Dorito.
And it just makes it harder for offensive moves when you have to get through those giant chasm-like gaps.
It's either you have to have perfect timing, perfect teamwork, or you get lucky, right? Saints drop another body.
So, yeah, now down to just 3 bodies. Had a 1-body advantage for a little bit here.
And field position advantage.
Yeah.
But on both tapes.
Couple tough deaths. Does look like Aftermath's running out of paint, though. Saw the player at the wedge just chuck a pod over to their outside body here in the insert bunker.
And now he's looking for he's like, oh, that was my last clip. Damn it.
Wait a second, I gave him my last
Hey,
one.
throw that back here,
Can
man.
you just take half and throw me back the other part?
Yeah. I love it, too, when you throw it back to the guy who's hiding behind you. You're like, I'm shooting my gun. I need the paint. You're hiding, and you're asking for it. It's very frustrating. Look at Aftermath. 3 bodies right there in that little 3 position, and they don't care about going anywhere, right? They're up a point. They're up a body. All they have to do now is not make a mistake and just keep applying pressure to the Saints, force the Saints to make a mistake, easily win the 2nd point. Now they're going to go into their 3rd point up by 2 with not much time left on the clock and put themselves in a very, very good position to win this first match.
Yeah. If you're Woodruff, coach of the Saints right now, you really want these guys to pull this one out. You're up a body, you're up a point, you got a bunch of time to work with. I mean, they'll be totally content to sit here and let 7 minutes go by, win this game 0-1. Now, if you're the Saints, you can't let that happen. So the 3 are eventually going to have to push in to the 4.
If they understand that, right? The Saints are the least experienced team in the league, right? And roster's kind of constantly changing. So although they may know what they're supposed to do, they might not be able to execute it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is like the most frustrating thing in paintball. Understanding what you're supposed to do and not knowing how to do it.
Well, that's where the Saints are at right now. You know, last event was pretty brutal it's the most competitive that pro paintball's ever been. Oh, look at this.
Oh, that's
Morris with a little John Wick one-hander here on the run through. And that's going to pull out that body. And then Saints trying to do a desperation run. They still had 1 body left alive, but he tried his own desperation run, chest up down the D side. He got shot as well, too. So, yeah, nice little close here for San Diego Aftermath. Should be able to go up 2 referees checking out one of their players on the wedge. Let's see. Oh, they're going to pull him out.
Top of his head. Lucky to get a penalty there. Yeah, headshots usually count.
They have 3, so even if he drew a minor, I was going to say, I'm shocked that he didn't get a penalty.
I was too.
Absolutely shocked. But penalty was assessed, so there's just going to be 1 body left alive.
Explain the difference between a minor and major, please.
So minor penalty, a yellow flag will be thrown by the referee, and that's going to pull out 1 more body. Major penalties, a red flag. It's when you get hit and influence the game, continue to push forward. We got a couple replays here. Ooh, little pod. Oh, he's doing the pod trick right now. He's got 1. Looks like another one. He's trying to do it again. And no one biting on the trap he's trying to set, and then he gets caught popping the top. Yeah, that's a tough death right there. So there's a pod toss, but that's for a reload. And then here comes the one-handed run through there. It was clean, though. He got him. Not the prettiest run through looking, but it's all right.
If you're at home watching,
it just needs to work, right?
Yeah, it just needs to work. If you're at home watching and you're wondering what to practice your gunfighting more than you practice throwing pods and hoping somebody will do something. Spend less
he's
time
getting
doing
creative out there.
Yeah, no, not him. I'm not saying him.
I'm
just saying in general.
Last 2 seasons ago, whatever, it was a little while ago, but everyone watched that Joe Barrett suckering Ryan Greenspan with the throw the pod trick, and since then, everyone's been throwing pods.
Yeah. That's the exception, not the rule, guys. Ooh, look at NRG with a pretty conservative breakout, Matty. 4 in the back center, 1 to the God, the insert bunker in front of the snake. X Factor, similar breakout, but they do go to the first Dorito. A lot of teams doubling up that back center, Matt.
I think we're going to see a steady dose of that all day today.
The problem is that if you double up the back center and you lose either one of those cans, and their back center is a disciplined guy, it's real hard to get out of that back center and get to that can.
Yeah. Well, it will evolve. It always does.
Yep.
But that doubling up's not really catching this. We're not really watching a lot of bodies drop off the break.
Nope.
Ooh. But kind of quickly, after the first 20 seconds or so, NRG Elite taking the walk here from the Snake Side Aztec.
I like Cody in that wing right there controlling Snake Side. He's in that wing totally controlling everyone on the Snake Side of the field. And now they can't fill out this way because Cody gets the fill, and that allows Billy and whoever else is in front of Billy to attack Snake Side.
Well, after losing a body Snake Side, NRG Elite sends 2 more bodies flooding towards the D side. So you got Trowick and Buffton moving over there.
Well, and that's the rub, right? If you're one of those teams that's running 3, NRG dropping that body over there, that hurts. But if you're one of those teams that has the 3 bodies attacking Snake Side and you can't get in the Snake, that leaves your guys Dorito side way down on bodies in position.
Well, X Factor, after dropping that first point, looking pretty solid here in these next 2 as they've been chopping up bodies. This is 5-on-2 now, and that's going to force a pretty quick concession here from NRG Elite. So 2 unanswered here from San Antonio X Factor with 4 minutes and 25 seconds left to go. You know, talking to Ryan Brand about, hey, how's the team looking, how the practices go, he's like, man, we didn't really face much adversity at all, to be honest, in practice. And it's tough because it sounds great. Oh, everything's working.
It's fun.
But
it's fun.
It's fun, makes the meetings nice. But the problem is that if no one's punching you in the face, and metaphorically, in practice, you don't really have a lot to fix. And not a lot to fix means when the problem presents itself,
you got to learn
in the important
at the
games. Now you got to learn in real time here at the event. So after a little bit of a struggle because of that penalty, you know, they picked it right back up and they're looking pretty good. Speaking of Ryan Brand, there he is, best hair in the game
by far. It's not even a contest.
I think he actually got a little trim. It's looking a little shorter than it normally does. So right now, Aftermath with a 2-point lead here on the Saints.
Big bite snake on the break with Aftermath. Big little change up there, Matty.
So before that, the death started coming out last one. I was saying that, you know, it was brutal at the first event. A lot of teams went 1-3, Rich. Yep. You guys did really well. But the Saints were the only team that didn't win a game. Out of all 20 teams, the only team that didn't pick up a win.
Yep.
So they're sitting at 20th. They had to face down relegation. You know, there's 20 pro teams in the pro division. One team will get relegated. Last year was DMG down to the semi-pro division, and one team will come up. It was notorious. They had a real good first event for a rookie pro squad. They won a game.
They look good.
Their losses were only by 1 point mostly. They had 2-point losses as well, too. We'll see them this afternoon.
I heard they practiced well this last weekend as well.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good things about Notorious. So, but as it stands, the Saints have an uphill climb. They're overall and currently in the framework of this game. 5:30 left on the clock. Aftermath up by 2.
Yeah, I like what Aftermath is doing here. They slow played the first 2 points, kind of dug them out, and now they've just got outside, spread the field, and they're complete control. I mean, it's going to be really tough for the Saints or any other team really at this point to push into them with a 2-point lead on this field.
It is looking like that, right? It's looking like this is going to be a tough field to crack if you go down by 2-3 when you start facing the impacts and the damages.
I was going to say damage on one side, impact on the other side. Could be a 1-point game.
It will force things to speed up, though, because when the games start to count. So if, let's just say, you know, whether it's impact or damage or whatever, when we get to that point, if you do go down by a couple, well, you're still going to have to push forward, right? So it's just, where are those moves going to come from? I think it's going to come through the center. The center is the safer spot if you're going to potentially try to attack because of the gaps that you were talking about earlier.
So the secret to the center, and we saw this illustrated really well in practice, we also saw it yesterday, is if you can get to the center and no one knows you're there, you can just shoot everybody and it's great. But if they know you're there, you end up getting run down and not getting anybody, and it's like, so now on such a crucial field where you're going 3 dominant, 1-1, it just gets scary.
Well, we just haven't seen the middle yet, but you know it's
coming.
A flow. It's a flow. It's a flow of the tactical progression, right? So if the guns are going outside, as they are right now, as that's where the action is flowing, then people are going to start finding a way to make moves up the center. But once that starts to work, then people are going to start putting more, you know, firepower and more bodies in those positions, and then that's going to open up the outside a little bit more. So we'll see. That's typically how it goes. Every field's a little bit different. Right now, though, the Saints in good spots again. It's just, what are you going to do when you get there? You know what I mean? Getting to the 50, that's step one. What are you going to do once you're at that spot? How do you get crack through this line? Aftermath with a 2-point lead, just 3:45 to go. You know,
happy to win with 2 points.
Yeah, and that's when you're just, if you're the Saints, you're just going to see the tip of barrels and the edges of goggles, and that's about it.
Yeah, and this field's tough, Matty. I mean, the vision on this field is tough, so you really rely on the communication, and getting the communication from one tape to the other tape and back is very, very challenging, especially for a new up-and-coming team. Good communication there on the Saints. Calling Dorito side has the ball, which means it's the Dorito side's responsibility to push forward. That's probably a good call. They got 2 bodies over there. They've only got 1 over here on Snake side.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at Saints on the screen, right? So they have 2 bodies in real good position, and they need to get some forward progression up that D side. They try to do it and then get shots. Just trying to make that move into the next Dorito, end up taking the walk, and they still have 1 body up there. But the story is the same, man. Even though you just lost your first attacker, you still need to go. You're down by 2. There's not a lot of time left. You got to just put a guy in, try to make a move, hope he misses. Your other option is just sit there, let time expire, and take the loss anyway, and that's not an option.
That's not an option. It shouldn't be.
Margin, though, margin is key, right? So, you know, when you're a team like the Saints and you're starting to take a loss, you can't just start running into guns this early in the tournament because you don't want to lose your first game by a big number, because then you need to put up a big number on a win to counteract that, to get back to, you know, even on the point margin. That's what I was thinking when you were talking about
the damage impact thing. I was like, depending on where they meet in the event.
That's what I'm talking about. On Sunday, it'll be more fun because then it doesn't matter. Margin doesn't mean anything. You got to go no matter what. Down to 2 minutes here on the clock, Rich. Still, situation's the same. Saints have been chilling in these 50s
just
here.
Just a blistering pace out here, man. Just the back and forth
barely
action.
keep up.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up. Bodies are leaving the field left and right. There's one Latin Saint player left alive. He's in the tower on the snake side. There are 4 or 5 Aftermath. Oh, no, there's two, I'm sorry. Saints with the redirect.
Well, it looks
that
like
was Kilo.
If things keep going this way, Rich, Aftermath could have put up a decent number here.
Yeah. Kilo making a good move across and outside, gets caught in the hopper. Aftermath losing their first player now, 4-on-1, I believe. Saints might want to concede this. Unless there's a guy up in the drill that I can't see for the Saints.
Yeah, unless they're thinking margin. You know, at this point, you might be content with a 3-point loss. Because if they concede, go back out and do a full court press attack, and then you could definitely lose another, then you go down by 4.
Well, and that's the nice thing for Aftermath. If you can go in with a 3-point lead, now you can play at a super aggressive point because you don't really care if you win that. I mean, obviously you want to win that point, but you're more testing like whether we can get away with it or not. Did you go to the place next to the hotel last night?
I did. It was delicious.
Did you get the fondue?
I did not.
Oh, bro, you blew it.
I know.
Yeah, so now Saints taking a walk on the D side, 1-on-4 situation for the Saints.
So
Saints player's not even shooting his gun. He's just sitting there trying to stay alive.
Rich, I really like the control we're seeing out of this young
Much more
Aftermath
mature
team.
than you would expect, huh?
Yeah, they're not making many mistakes at all. Couple here there, but really this is a relatively flawless game for Aftermath.
And what I really, really like is I talked to Ramirez right before this game, and he called the first 3 points exactly how they just played.
Really?
He's like, we're gonna go out, we're gonna do pocket the first couple points, we get up on, we're going to go outside, we're going to get control. Just really smart, good coaching, and just good solid play from those guys.
Well, other than Grayson and maybe Missouri, they don't have a lot of guys with a ton of pro experience. Now, Ramirez has been with that camp for a while, right? And the brain trust of a team is so important, you know, who's coaching. And so, yeah, I think it's great. You know, unfortunately for Ramirez, you know, he's not geared up. I mean, he's been a player on that squad for a while, but you know he's now just kind of focusing on being the that brain trust that
and
they
that's
need.
What good teammates do, right?
But that's cool that you're telling me, and he just called literally exactly how the game was going to go.
I was just smiling when I saw his third breakout. I'm like, good job, buddy. Way to put that together. And you know, a lot of guys are just worried about that first point, right? They don't have 3 or 4 points planned out.
We're in the pits right now here with the Saints, and they do look dejected. They have 3 more games to go, so I do not like when we go to pits and you see 1,000-yard stares after the first game.
First match of the day.
Got some paintball to play out here. Some more opportunities. Saints in every bracket's kind of tough, but Impact, X Factor, Energy, Aftermath, and the Saints in bracket C. Jumping back in here with now 4:20 to go as NRG Elite dropping a body early, and it's going to be Chewy. Betancourt taking the walk, so no offensive push on the snake side. 5-on-4 situation here in favor of X Factor and Rich, looking like they're going back to doubling up that back center.
It's 5-on-4, Matt, but it's worse than it sounds because Energy has no one on this side of the field. And if X Factor just contains Energy in that tower in the back center and don't allow them to come this way, they've already won the point as long as they don't make any mistakes.
They get body up into the center brick. They get Colt Roberts out wide. He's feeling no pressure. He's about to get into the snake.
And because Energy doesn't have a player in that wing to block the snake, they can go all the way down and kill them all.
Well, Energy sent Betancourt over here, and everyone else is in a pretty defensive position, down by 1 with 3:40 left to go. That's not the move right here. Ooh, they do get a kill on Colt Roberts, though.
So from the snake corner, that came from the Dorito corner, Matt.
That's a tough death here for Colt.
Oh, Austin moved the wrong way when he moved Dorito side. Now there's 3 Energy players Dorito side, and the only one on this side of the field, the center tower, is looking Dorito as well. Bad read there for NRG.
Yeah, feeling the pinch. They dropped the body out the back corner bunker on the D side, so now down to 3. So even with the kill on Colt, still, it was even on the count for a while, but no, now it's back to an advantage for X Factor.
Watching Energy play this, it makes me wonder if they understand how to play this field.
Well, I like the play call of sending Billy in the middle, and then now here on the secondary attacks, up on the D side, pushing the issue right now. X Factor looking real good. Trying to close the door on NRG Elite. They lose Buffton, they lose Trowick, just Weaver left alive, and he gets peeled off as well too. So beautiful job, San Antonio X Factor from that D side.
Yeah, that was just a bad point there from Energy. They lost their first attacker on the snake side with Betancourt, and then they just completely abandoned this side of the field. And when you have a field that 70% of the points are on one side, you've got to have a lot of energy that way.
Yeah, it's within. I just like the play call. You know, I mean, one of the things with X Factor is they've become less predictable. They're moving Billy around a little bit, and then now they have both Cody and Parrish over on the D side. They both look kind of similar from far away, and then it does look like they're going with TJ Danner behind either Parrish or Cody. So, Yeah, so, yeah, nice job by Bayless. So Parrish got the penalty. They put Bayless in, and then TJ's been solid over there. I mean, really, the only mistake in that one was Colt getting dinked out over here trying to get into the snake.
From that Drita corner. And that Drita corner is a little bit different than most teams practice it, so he just probably wasn't aware of it. Wow. Saints with a full court press, Matt. 2 guys to the 50, 3 guys to the 50, end up in the snake as well. They lose their snake guy. They lose 150 brick. Might be losing another one. So 2-on-5 advantage here. 3-on-5 advantage here for Aftermath.
Got to be careful not to get that major, right? Under 60 seconds, immediate point for the other team. Clean, though. Clean through, even though. So Saints not able to put one up on the board as Aftermath holding strong. There was only about 19 seconds left in this match. Final score will be 3-0. Aftermath with the shutout here. Nice start for Aftermath. Very calm, composed out there.
Big step for them. Big step for them.
Yeah, playing to the field. Not really making again, it was not a flawless game, but pretty close though, man. Pretty close.
Well, and I think like we were talking about, it's very mature coaching, right? A lot of guys look at, okay, hey, Saints are kind of soft. Let's see what we can get away with, right? So that when we play other teams, we can kind of, there was the opposite. Like, hey, let's not do anything sloppy. Let's not show anything we don't have to show. Let's just go out and play solid paintball.
Well, when you're, so the way the brackets work out, we have 20 teams, 10 move on. You'll have 2 from each division, the top 2 teams, and then 2 teams will catch a wild card. And then, let's listen in real quick. Ooh.
Get him.
Ramirez.
Get him, Ramirez.
So we were just talking about how, not quite a perfect game. Looked like it on the score, but I like this. He comes from a hardcore legacy of intense coaching, so even though they just pitched a shutout, he still was saying we still had a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, it's important to be critical, right? Even when you're doing well, because you have to constantly improve and evolve. If you don't, everyone's going to pass you up.
Well, and also, what are we expecting to do? If Aftermath's out just coming expecting to, we're on a rebuild, we're just trying to show some improvement.
Trying to have some fun.
But if they want to win, if they want to make a Sunday and be, a top 10 team.
You better shut out the Saints.
Yeah, then you need to, so that's what I was going to say. So when you're looking at the brackets, the Saints are the lowest ranked team. You're 3 Aftermath, so it's the bottom 2 teams. Aftermath, best case scenario is what just happened, right? You pitch a shutout, you put up a +3, because every game is going to get harder from here on out. Now, it's the same thing with the Saints, right? Technically, on paper, every game that they have is going to be more difficult because you're playing higher-ranked teams. Again, NRG, X Factor, and Impact in this division. So that's still just a great start for X Factor. Jumping back into this one, 2:39 left to go here, and a 2-point lead.
X Factor gets out on the D side, Maddie. They got 4 in the pocket, and then either Cody or LJ gets out to that baby Dorito. Tom Guest filling up the tower in the center. They're X Factor now doubling up that tower. He can use his height to shoot down and keep energy out of the snake, as well as the other guy can shoot the cut across field and keep him out of the Dorito side. There's 2 minutes left, Matt, and NRG is down by 2, and it looks like they're just going to concede this game because there's 5 guys in the pocket. And they're not going anywhere.
Margin, right?
Yeah.
Because NRG's they made Sunday at the first event. Took 10th, but still, so they're a team that can make Sundays.
He's hit on his hopper.
They cannot let the margin get away from them.
Man, referee's sleeping a little bit out there.
Yeah, it's penalty going to be assessed on Trowick.
That's a good penalty because he gets shot in the back center and then filled out to that can. 5-on-4 here advantage for X Factor as they release up to the center of the field. NRG now finally getting outside on the snake side. As they do that, Bowen gets shot out of the, Boffman gets shot out of the back center. NRG dropping another body. Yeah, this is getting away from him pretty quickly here. Yeah, I think their breakout was a little too conservative. They got caught in that pocket. X Factor got outside on both tapes and just completely controlled after the break.
Yeah, great play call. A little bit of a risk, even with up points. And it pays off for them. They trapped NRG Elite, like Rich was saying, in the pocket, got a couple kills, a little gift of a penalty.
Yep.
And then immediately took advantage of it in the 5-on-3, ran down, shot the last bodies, and now they're just going to post up. Going to check, make sure that Jesse Stevens is clean before he hits the buzzer.
Ryan Brand's over there signaling, hit the buzzer, hit the buzzer, hit the buzzer. We want to score more points, hit the buzzer. And they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to pay attention.
Ryan's like, hit the buzzer. Dixon also.
He's like, do we have a sign for hit the buzzer? If we do, would it look like this? Guys on this field are like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're just going to stand here. We don't care about you guys. You're stupid.
And win this they're not 3. Listening. They're like, no, we got this W.
Yeah, NRG doesn't want to lose another point, right?
Because NRG Elite's probably like, hey, we're cool with it.
Yeah,
we'll take this loss.
Lose by 2 or 3, then lose by 4.
Yeah.
Ryan's now walking down to their side of the field. I said hit the buzzer. You know what Ryan should do here to teach him a lesson? He should concede the point. Like, you made me concede that point. I hope you're happy.
Well, coming up next, going to be the Bears and the ML Kings. Interesting story there. And then Columbus Level and the Ironmen. Both Columbus Level and the Ironmen did not have great showings at the first event. So looking to pick it up here. Bears look pretty decent at the first event.
Bears look real good.
ML Kings are going through a little bit of a rebuild. So it's going to be 4 seconds. I'm assuming they're going to burn that off. Yeah, so Ryan's going to talk to Jason. Yeah, assuming they're just going to burn that off.
Remember the old days where you couldn't signal from the box to hit the buzzer?
Oh, look at this, Grayson Goff. We are in Austin, so old school legend. Helped put X Factor on the map a decade ago. Coming out to help the boys. He's the guy that started BKI Paintball and was one of the best kids in Texas. So it's a cool documentary about the rise of X Factor and how hardcore Texas paintball has been throughout the generations. There's Jesse Stevens, got a smile on his face too. Good to see him back.
I love that it's on Amazon too. Like, I was just cruising through Amazon and it's like BKI. I'm like, what, paintball? What? This is amazing.
So that is going to do it. Pretty happy X Factor and a happy Aftermath. Taking the victory here in game number 1. Coming up, though, Brooklyn Bears taking on the ML Kings. Columbus Level taking on the Los Angeles Ironmen here at 2023 Lone Star Major, second event of the NXL season. I'm Matty Marshall here on Go Sports, and I'll see you in just a few.
Communication, obviously, everybody knows is a big deal on the field. The way that you can talk to each other on the field with this mask on is something I've never experienced before. It's very breathable, and I feel like you hear that a lot from other companies, but this is truly different in my opinion. Every time I'm yelling, I can still hear people next to me talking. We were kind of climbing up the ranks when Carbon was kind of too. Walker and those guys have just been awesome to us. You know, anytime they're testing new stuff, they hit us up. It's not like a one-way conversation. It's felt like with some other sponsors in the past. They understand that like people like me don't like to have, you know, crazy thick arm pads with a jersey that has stuff on your wrist and stuff like that. It's stay as light as possible so you're comfortable, you know, in these hot days. Every year we have a choice to go somewhere else with our sponsorship, and after 4 or 5 years with these guys, we're still here. Like, we're still next to Carbon because we choose to be.
Hey, this is Walker with Carbon Paintball here to talk to you about our SC custom jerseys. To start your team's design, head over to crbnpaintball.com, fill in some team information, including what colors, what template you want to base your jersey off of, upload your main team logo and any sponsors, enter your name and your number, and we're going to kick you back a 3D image of your jersey. The custom jersey is built on a 5-panel design that's all customizable. The jersey features a DWR coating all throughout the jersey, so it is water resistant. It also is stain proof, and it has side mesh venting. The jersey is also very fitted, so it has a compact neck collar, and it also features elastic thumb loops to keep the sleeves in place while you're sliding or running. To start your team design, head over to crbnpaintball.com. Walker here with Carbon Paintball to discuss the Zero goggle system with you guys. We have the Pro version and then the SLD. What you're going to notice first is the color options. The Pro, it is a semi-translucent Airflex bottom. That's the mask region. And then with the Solid series, it is just a solid color. It's opaque. They're both exactly the same durometer. They're both the same softness or squishiness. Other than that, you're actually going to get a clear lens with your Pro goggle. They both come with a case. And another cool feature of the Pro model is a dual silicone strap versus a sublimated strap on the SLD. And last but not least is another cool highlight is the Pro has some orange accents versus the SLD comes with black. For more features and information on sizing and pricing, visit carbonpaintball.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Mr. H, and I got some news for you. The HK Army Lone Star Open. We got a special surprise for you. HK Army bandana and our event shirt will only be available online during the event, and we'll have it for you guys at the booth. Super limited supplies, guys. And also, don't forget, till the end of the month, April 30th, we have 20% off for the 420 sale, guys. We'll see you at the event. This is Mr. H signing out. Yeehaw!
The best fucking teams now. It's time to step the fuck up. But we're fucking champions too.
Punch him in the mouth, guys. Come on.
It's stretching 10. Hey, the guard! The guard! Hey, hold!
Nice CPL, baby.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
We're all dead people. Woo! Let's go.
Can you tell me a little bit about what Sunday Paintball is?
Sunday Paintball is a brand that my wife and I started. I've always wanted to give back to the sport. Half of our profits go right back to the sport. The goal is to give players more Sundays.
Our first event, the teams that came in last place, we actually gave 5 cases of paint just to show them we want to see you back, we want to see you playing again.
That's what Sunday Paintball is about. It's not about getting to the tournaments and getting first place. It's about always playing. It's about playing whenever you can.
Sunday Paintball have any plans to move into any other days of the week?
Sunday Paintball is a mindset. If you can have a Sunday on a Saturday, we encourage that too.
This is a bullshit day of paintball. I'm fucking over it. Let's go out here. Let's win this fucking game. We'll be in the driver's seat and get to play both the motherfuckers that are standing in our way. Right now, wake the fuck up. Keep running those guns, dude. Wake up, boys. Come on, let's go. ICPM, baby. That's right. Monday, Wednesday, for sure. Back right.
Damn.
bang, 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 bang. Get him out.
He wiped it.
Bang, bang.
That's it. It's right here then. I don't think it's getting there.
Let's go. All the bodies we can get. All the bodies we can get.
Everybody knows the game plan. Everybody knows their job. Run those guns, run those mouths. Smoke paintball today, baby. Let's have some fun. All day. All day. Let's go, Smoke. Keep the pressure up.
Yes, sir. Got that good shit right here.
Let's go, Shock. Let's continue.
Well, it's not down you. I want to. Hey,
every time.
Why do you think you're playing? I'm sitting here. I don't ever doubt you.
Go, Side ready. Go get him, Connor.
Back right, kill one!
The whole time they're yelling Dallas, that guy's feet were right there the whole time.
I didn't know.
Well, they didn't tell you that.
I asked Sam that. He said come protect Smash. I should have went through the middle.
It's always time for something.
Focus on playing together, all right, boys?
Welcome back, 2023 NXL Lone Star Major. We're here in Round Rock, Texas, a little outside of Austin. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Rich Telford. Lots of compelling narratives during the 2023 season. One of them is the Brooklyn Bears, bringing back the OG squad they started with down in the divisions years ago, taking 8th place at the first event. Last year they played as Seattle Thunder. What a story it was. A merger of the Bears and Thunder, but this year they're back to the Brooklyn Bears. They picked up Frank Antetomaso, coming over from Aftermath, as he was one of their OG players. But man, their starting lineup, Rich, has gotten very potent. They're taking on the ML Kings here in their first game. ML Kings also, they're on a bit of a rebuild. You know, they lost some bodies. They lost Connor Kelly to Houston Heat. They lost Louis Betancourt to NRG Elite. So picking up some new guys with less experience. We'll see how they do here. Favorite probably going to be the Bears. Also in this set, Columbus Level and the Los Angeles Ironmen, and both those teams underperformed at the first event. Columbus Level 3rd place last year, best they ever did. Looking pretty solid, but probably the most inconsistent team in the game right now, as they did not have a great end to 2022, sitting at 16th place after their finish at the first event. Ironman right behind him at 17th, Rich, but going through a big rebuild. Bringing the legendary coach Shane Pestana back in to help guide the squad and picking up some familiar faces but new to the Shield. We'll see how they do here in day one. What do you think about this matchup, though, Bears-Kings?
I think the Bears are going to play this field really, really well. I think that the Bears, when they play a slower type field and they have really good control, you're going to see a guy in each one of those cans, Matt, and a guy in that tower, and probably a guy in that wedge playing really, really good control team paintball. And that's going to be tough for the Kings if they can't make if they don't get one or two guys on really big offensive kicks, right? And they lost Betancourt, which is their big offensive weapon. So it'll be interesting to see who for the Kings can step up and play aggressively. Because if they try to go out and play a slow, methodical game against the Bears, that's their strength, and they're probably going to lose.
Looks like Sakaguchi getting a start.
Gooch.
Yeah, Sakaguchi, who was with Thunder last year, decided to stay with the Bears, and he has quite the trip, man. He's the best player, I think, ever to come out of the state of Hawaii, and that's a long trip for practice, but he loves it, loves the game, and getting the start here. Did play really solid at that first event. The brothers, the Altimore brothers, man, they've been lights out. You know, Joey Altimore plays the Snake, and his brother Robbie, and man, they've been awesome. Sester had some really good looks for him at the first event, and look for a potential big event out of Frank Antetomaso.
Yeah, if he can get penetration on that D side, he can feast over there, but he's got to get past that big cut. So it'll be interesting to see if he tries to go to the corner and work his way up, or if he just tries to take a big bite on the break here. I'm guessing he's going to hold up a little short. Yeah, Frank just goes to the can there. Aftermath losing the first player like 2 steps out of the box. I mean, Bears, excuse me. Oh, and now Bears lose the second player with Greg getting shot trying to fill that wedge.
What a great break for the ML Kings. They get Carter Donaldson all the way into Snake 2 off the break, and they chew up 3 bodies essentially off the break. 2 immediately, and then 1 right after that. It's a 5-on-2 right now, Rich.
ML Kings with 2 bodies in the Snake. I don't think that, again, we talked about the vision being tough out here. I don't think the Kings knows that it's a 5-on-2 yet, Matt. They're certainly playing like they don't know it's a 5-on-2, but now they're getting it. They're like, whoa, do we shoot that many people that fast? A really, really good breakout there for the Kings. One of the best breakouts we've seen so far.
Donaldson, Navarro, Kyle Berry, Mingo Kappas, and LJ Woodley out there just dominant in this first point.
They were out here for a long time yesterday, really dialing in that breakout shot, and it worked. They got the first kill on the break on the Snake side, like 2 steps after the box. They caught Greg immediately filling from the center into the wedge, and then they caught Frank out there trying to make a secondary. So really, really good laning and then controlling the lanes after the break.
That's a head scratcher here for the Brooklyn Bears.
Yeah, they're like, hey, that's what we were supposed to do, guys. What the hell?
That's like, well, we did not draw it that way in the meeting last night.
Wasn't that our game plan? Wasn't that our game plan, guys?
That's the one where you walk back in the pits big. What just happened?
What did you guys do? Because you guys did something wrong out there for sure.
There's GJ Sakaguchi here on your screen. Jumping into point number 1 right now. Columbus Level in the green and black from the blue side. Los Angeles Ironman in the red and black from the red side to start out. These teams switch sides. When points are scored, they stay on the same side if there is a no point. Danny Schonauer getting into Snake 1. Key attacker for Columbus Level, especially on a field with a Snake like this. Got to have Danny Schonauer have a good event. They kind of trap the Ironman, see if Nick Sloviak is able to get out wide.
If Nick's hit, he's going to have a penalty because he got shot in the back center and field 4. The referee is calling to pull him out from the sidelines. Nick is not leaving. He's really going to get lucky if he doesn't get a penalty here. Wow. Anybody else in that league, I think, gets a penalty there.
Everybody loves Nick.
Yeah. How can you not? Nicest guy in the paintball in the world. So if Danny just goes forward here, Matt, and goes to the 50, he can wrap and shoot the tower and shoot the home. But when he's sitting in the Snake 2 cut looking inside, it's really hard for him to get pressure on either one of those spots. He's got to go outside to that 50 Snake.
Yeah, tough thing for Level is they lost one of their best players from last season, Corwin Weber, to an ACL tear beginning of the year. So they might get him back for World Cup, but most likely they will be without one of their best guys for 2023. But they picked up
Damian.
I was going to say, took the words right out of my mouth. They picked up Damian Ryan, former All-Star for Los Angeles Infamous, taking him out of a quasi-retirement.
Yeah, I love him.
He was playing in divisions, but he played really well in the first event.
He's a good player. I love the way he's playing that wing, too. Level understands that the wing is the spot that stops the attack on the Snake side. They go in there to protect Danny and Damian now. Those 2 spots can control this side of the field. They've got the 3rd guy behind him in that little temple there, the Snake insert. That's the 3 spots that you want over here, Matt. You want either that Snake insert or the can, the wing, and in any spot here in the Snake, preferably the 50. That's the little triangle of death over here on the Snake side.
Well, Level is loading up bodies here from the Snake side, from the tower essentially over to the Snake side. 4 bodies this way, 1 towards the D side. 5-on-4 currently here in favor of Columbus Level.
And my question to myself, and I would ask you the same question going into this first point, is how are the Ironmen going to play this field? Traditionally, the Ironmen are an aggressive team. Traditionally, they want to be the most aggressive team, and they want to win through aggression. And they've kind of just gone out here, split the field, and not made any moves. Now it's a 3-on-4 advantage for Level.
It was for a second. They did get the shot. They got the shot on Hollowell, but then 2 bodies getting peeled off here. Just 2 bodies left on the field for the Ironmen, and they are. I mean, at least they have the field spread. But not looking really good right now for the LA Ironmen as Columbus Level starting to push the issue up on that D side, getting to the 50-yard line over there.
Well, I got to be honest, I don't like the fact that the Ironman player never tried to get in the Snake and now is running backwards away from the Snake. Like
he was thinking about it. They lost Nick, and then when he was thinking about it is when they lost those 2 bodies. So they get the shot on Hughes, just 1 body left alive to worry about. It's Patty Gleason as the lone body. He ends up getting the start, and he's going to try to do a desperation run. Nothing Patty could do in that situation. So with the Ironman, I agree, right? So how are they going to? They have aggressive guys on the field. When you got Shane Pestana and Mike Paxson coaching the team, they're going to be pushing that. That's the characteristic of that team for going on 30 years now. And they have the personnel for it, but with the rebuild, it was Shane and Mike. They're essentially asking these guys, like, look, we got a bunch of you here. We're not going to probably keep this many dudes on the roster for the entire season, but we need a core 7 or 8. Yep. Who's that going to be? That's not really up to us. No. That's not up to Mike and Shane. That's up to the players. And you earn that. You earn that right to get the starting.
And that's how a healthy team organizes and produces good players, right? And that's the same thing we're trying to do on New York. In the past, it was like, hey, this guy plays just because he's this guy. And now it's like, whoever's playing the best, they play.
Are you running a club or are you running a pro paintball team?
Thank you, Matt.
There's a difference.
Thank you,
If you want to run a club, cool. That's awesome. There's lots of places to play
That's right.
paintball.
Go have fun.
The pro division is not one of them.
Running and shooting to the snake are the ML Kings. Gets in there live, but they lose the support player behind him. 4-on-4 breakout here as Sakaguchi takes a walk for the Bears. So 4-on-4, secondaring from the tower into the wing here, snake side. Probably the strongest defensive positions on the snake side. And Bears have 2 out on this snake side. Again, when you go to that wing mat and there's no one snake side for the Kings, it gets really hard to get out of that.
We'll see if the Brooklyn Bears can answer as they get a body out into D2. He might be taking the walk, though, and it looks like he is. So
3-on-4.
Yeah, 3-on-4 situation right now in favor of the ML Kings.
And Bears with no one on that D side, Maddie, and that gets a little scary when there's nobody over there. But at the same token, Kings with nobody snake side except for the snake one.
They got Kyle Berry and Mingo Kappas pushing up on the D side right now. And then they have a body in the insert bunker snake side. He's looking inside, though, and they do let the Brooklyn Bears here get into the snake. So he's going to crawl all the way to the 50-yard line.
And you really can't stop him, Maddie, from getting to that 50, but you can stop him from wrapping to that from that 50 from that wing. They can kind of sneak in there if they curl low and inside on the beam, but once they get there, they have a hard time wrapping if that wing is there on them.
Joey Altimore in the snake currently for the Brooklyn Bears. He's got a body in front of him, outside wide, he's off screen, and then you see that wedge who's totally focused on trying to keep Joey in his spot here, not let him get crazy. Joey does like to attack.
Bears are doing something a little different. They've got that wing that most people play snake side, and they've got a dedicated D side. And I don't know if that's just because the Kings are pushing. Oh,
that's a little bit. That's tough death there for Joey.
Oh, and they drop Bears drop another guy.
He has a desperation run outside wide, didn't make it.
And ML Kings are looking good here, man.
ML Kings look tightened up right now through 2 points.
Yeah, I called this one 100% wrong. I really felt like the Bears were going to be a really strong team on this layout, and I thought that Kings would struggle a little bit just because the differences stylistically. Like, because what we were talking about the Ironman, when you have an aggressive team and aggressive style, and then you get to a slow playing field, you're like, do we try to impose our will on this field, or do we change our style to match up with the field?
For sure. This is what have you done for me lately, sport. But but I agree with your pick, because if you look at how the Bears took that 8th place, they beat the ML Kings by 4. At the first event.
Yeah.
Then they beat Level by 1. They did lose to Notorious, and they lost to Impact, but they squeaked in, made it in the wild card round. They beat NRG Elite by 1 and then lost to Impact by 4. So, but if you look at how the ML Kings did at the first event, it wasn't, just they didn't have the same performance. They went 2-2, but they went 2-2 with a -4, and then they lost to the Bears. So. But hey, again, what have you done for me lately? As it stands right in this second here, coming into point number 2, Columbus Level now taking the walk. The Ironman
5-on-3, Matt.
In a real good spot here. They get the body outside wide, getting Nita into the insert bunker snake side. He's got, I think that's Al Fernandez right behind him. So does look like different guys getting spins out here again with Shane Pestana, Mike Paxton, Nicky McEvers. They're just asking, okay, who's it going to be, right? Who are our guys? So they're going to get some spins and see who performs.
And what you said earlier, Matt, from like a coaching perspective of what you want from your players is there's 5 spots out there in a game plan, right? And you don't care which player is in those 5 spots. You just your job as a coach is to make sure the best guy who's been playing that position is in there the most spins, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got to, again, when they're in the situation, you got to give these guys chances, and it looks like another body coming off right now for Columbus Level.
2-on-5 Ironman advantage here. They probably want to switch to offense now. Start pushing down the field. As we say that, they enter the snake. Snake 1 going to snake 2.
Yeah, Anita improving his positions, not looking good right now. Damian Ryan just turreting over the top, popping the top, and just going to stay up there until somebody tries to put him back in. Or he has to load, which he does. Askren right beside him.
That's one of those things that really, really good players do, right? Like, you don't think in a 2-on-5 you're going to stand over the top of the snake and shoot. But if you can get away with it, your vision is great, your shot is that much better, and you have that much more chance to do something.
He's reading the pressure. No one was shooting over the top of that spot. He does finally get dinked out of there, but there's not much he can do in that spot, especially with his teammate is right beside him. So that's worst case scenario when you're looking at this situation. And the Ironmen are going to clean this one up and clean it up nicely. So, yeah, solid point there for the Ironmen. Did their damage early, won a couple gunfights, and yeah, getting some guys some spins. Treegarth getting a spin, Nita getting a spin. Corey Field getting a spin.
A much better point for the Ironmen. But what I would like to see, and I'm assuming their coaches would like to see, is once they get those first 2 kills in the break and it's a 5-on-3, a little more emphasis on dropping the hammer and controlling a little bit better.
Hey, Corey, there we go, baby.
Let's listen in here at the pits. LA Ironman. Also, thank you for joining us on YouTube and Facebook. Make sure to head on over to Go Sports and watch this crazy and chaotic pro paintball battle that will be going down all weekend long here in Round Rock, a little outside of Austin, Texas, for event number 2, the Lone Star Major. We need all the support we can get here, trying to push paintball to another level. That is our mission, but we need your help to do it. All right, next point for the Bears and the ML Kings. Ooh, Carter Donaldson asking for a check as we see our eye in the sky on the breakout right now. Looks like a 5-on-5 break. If Donaldson is clean, he is. They also filter a body out behind him to get to the spot bunker. Spot Insurance here, sponsor for the NXL. And they're going to get Kyle Berry at wide. Nice repositions. Getting up the field a bit here for the ML Kings.
Solid 5-on-5.
Bears taking a pretty big bite early on the D side here, Rich, getting all the way to D4 pretty quick.
Yeah, Bears losing their first player out of the attack position on the snake side, so 4-on-5 advantage for the Kings. Both teams having 3 or 4 players snake side, 1 player Dorito side. Bears the first team to lose one of those players. Bears has a player in that wedge playing defensively as he loses the player behind him, but he's keeping that whole side locked down from that wedge. Unfortunately, the guy behind him draws a penalty. I think it's a 2-on-5 now, Matt.
Yeah,
2-on-5 ML Kings advantage.
Bears grinding the gears a bit right now here early on in the tournament.
And I heard they had a really good practice too, where they were, like X Factor practice and like winning the breakouts pretty consistently. Oh, ML Kings just got a hard bounce or a shot there in that spot can. Looks like he's okay. Looks like he's clean. Oh, ML Kings do lose their attacker there in the wing. Oh, Bears lose another body. So I believe it's a 1-on-4 advantage for the Kings, but the Bears are up to the 50 on that D side, Matt. There's a really, really nasty bounce shot there, too.
Oh, he did get a shot on Kyle, but then ended up getting taken out by Kappas.
Yeah, well, also, the Snake 1 can bounce it off the brick behind him and directly drive into that 50.
Yeah, nice job by Mingo over there. Good job by Donaldson. And the ML Kings look pretty good here, Rich.
Yeah, not messing around, bro. Not messing around.
Looking pretty good early. Let's see if they can keep it up. It'd be really good for the ML Kings to put up a big score here against the Bears. It's a bracket with New York Extreme, Brooklyn Bears, ML Kings, Columbus Level, and the LA Ironman, bracket D.
So I think it's the hardest bracket. I looked at all the teams and all the stats, and there's some things that would lead people to believe that maybe the first and second division were the hardest. But if you really look at the finite details, it's that bracket D. I mean, it's a tough one.
Chris Odom from the NFL, big paintball guy, man, loves the game. He's actually helping the ML Kings out. He's running their pits. And there's Charlie Givens, paintball patron, owner and coach of the team, and they're looking really good here. Jumping back into this one, much closer in this match. Ironman going to be losing, I think that's Tregarthen trying to get out wide.
Yeah, he did a really weird, he went really, really deep and crawled in, and somebody just caught him over the top there, I think, Matty. So Level with a big advantage here, Matty, because they've got 3 bodies outside containing the Ironman, and it's going to be really hard because the guy in the wing right there, Matt, that's wrapping, can completely keep the can from going into the snake insert. Ooh, but
they lose Danny.
That's going to hurt. 4-on-4 here, Matty. First attacker from both teams on the snake side have been eliminated.
When you're playing Level and you can shoot Danny Schoenauer, it makes it a lot easier.
Pretty good. So, and contrasting styles here. Level's got the guy in the control, that center tower there, Matt, locking down the Dorito side. The Ironmen have the same guy locking down the snake side, so just different looks and different ideas on what's important out there.
Yeah, neither team with the lead. Neither team with an advantage. It's 4-on-4, so just kind of feeling each other out right now.
Yeah, Ironmen are using that tower over on the Dorito side, and that's one of those bunkers that I didn't see almost any teams playing, other than just like a transitional bunker. So interesting to see that Ironmen are playing this differently in those 2 tower positions than everybody else. If they win, they're going to look like geniuses.
Looking at Columbus Level here on your screen. Yep. Wedge towards the snake side, pop the top for a sec, and then establishing the lane, trying to keep the Ironman out of the snake. Ironmen don't look like they want to go there.
No.
They're just posted up. They're also shooting lanes, so this could be a long point.
I was just going to say, this has got the earmarks of one of those longer, it's 1-to-1. Whoever wins this point, especially if it's a long one, is going to have a big advantage. Big move over there on the Ironman up to the Dorito 3 or 4.
Yeah, both teams have pretty good field progression. Ironman a little bit better though with that move now into D4, level at D3.
Yeah. Both teams are struggling though in the sense that they don't have anyone in a. Okay, as I say, that level gets outside with Damian Ryan to the Snake 1.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Nice timing because there's 2 guns this way. So nice timing for Damian Ryan to get out through those guns.
Yeah. There's 2 guns on him, but the tower really can't see him. He can only blind shoot it. So it was just the 1 gun, his mirror, that he had to beat. That'll be interesting to see if he's been playing much time because he's on the outside wrap to go forward. And he forces it in there, but he could have easily just gone inside and crawled in as well. Damian Ryan now, Snake 1 looking in.
Patty Gleason in a good spot for the Ironman, but he's by himself over there, I think, into D4. And now Damian Ryan's worked himself into Snake 2. Ironman are going to...
Good reposition from the Ironman, going from the tower into the wing. Now the wing can stop Damian from wrapping that 50.
Yeah, that's a good reaction there. That's the move he needed to make out of that tower. Ooh, looks like Level going to get eaten up out of D3, so...
Some teams understand this wedge here pretty well on the Snake side and how it controls the side, and some teams don't really get it. Again, Level and just better positions here, Matt. Really got a lot of control over here. They got 3 guys within 10 feet of each other, all talking to each other, all working together. Ironman a little bit more spread out with Snake 1, the Snake wing, the tower on the Dorito side, now losing their 4th attacker Dorito side, so 3-on-4 advantage here for Level. Ironman in Snake 1, the Snake wedge. And Dorito. Level with 2 in the wing. Damian Ryan in the Snake 2.
Yeah, Patty taking the walk here for the Ironman. It's getting interesting here. Doubling up the wedge for Level. Good communication for both squads, though.
Yeah. And again, these longer, slower points really help with that, right? If it's a long, slow point, you better be talking. Just trying to figure out. And again, I'm not criticizing the Ironman here, but I would like to see their Snake guy, you know, whether it's the first guy or the second guy, at least try to get in the Snake and try to go forward and try to draw some guns. Because if your attacker on the Snake side is doing what he's doing, which is just playing defensive, it gets really easy for the other team to push down there and put a lot of pressure across.
Well, Keith DeVitt also taking the walk, so a couple deaths for the Ironman have given the advantage in this tie ball game in this long point in 6:25 to go to Columbus Level. They're trying to close. They're looking at 2 bodies in front of them. See if they can get it done.
Yeah, so I think what's going to happen a lot here, Matty, is we're going to end up, a lot of these points are going to go island ball, right? Where you have one guy on one side of the field, and Keith DeWitt was that guy at this point. And if Keith DeWitt understands that, hey, I just have to stay alive over here, right? It's a 4-on-3.
Tie
game.
Got
2 guys on the other side of the field. I've just got to stay alive. I don't have to shoot anybody, but if I die here, we're going to lose this point.
Yeah, take it if they're going to give it to you.
Yeah.
You don't want to force too much. No. Don't be in too many reckless gunfights. But, yeah, and I think we're going to see, because this field is playing a little slower, we are going to see a lot of close games out here. So
a lot of island ball where you have 2 on one side, 1 on the other, and nobody really knows what the other tape is doing. And whoever can communicate and play the whole field the best.
Damien moving up to 50 now.
And now that's where the wing comes in play. Now the wing can keep him from going forward.
I mean, ideally, Level needs to close from that D side. There's no one in front of him over there. Damien's got a body in front of him. They are going to get the shot inside, though. That leaves just Hughes out here.
I think Boyum taking the walk there from the wing.
Yeah, Jordan taking the walk. Just Clay Hughes. Little tactical retreat. I don't think Damien saw it.
Damien might have just got a hard, but he just shot Damien. That was a great move from Hughes.
Yeah, but they still had the guns up on him, and Lemon was able to get that shot in on Hughes. It was either Askren or Lemon. Regardless, still 2 bodies left alive. This is not 10-man. Doesn't matter how many bodies you win with. It's all about getting that point, hitting that buzzer.
So when New York Extreme went and played the ISCPL 10-man event just for fun, you know, also to have fun, learn a little bit about paintball. They're like, "What do you mean? Like you get points for live bodies?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. You get points for life. Stay alive if you can." Okay, well, I didn't know. I'm like, how do you not know that? It was a blast. Bo brought us all out. We had so much fun.
The Pro DNA Open?
Yeah. It was so much fun.
Did you play?
No. I was thinking about it, but not in good enough shape yet.
Yeah, how's your back and knees and ankles, and how's all of it holding up?
That's all better than the rest of the stuff. Yeah.
In the pits right now, Coach Doviak, owner Dave Pando. Talking to Lemon.
Bears have to do something here, Matt.
Yeah, it's do or die time right now for the Brooklyn Bears because there's still 11 minutes left to go. The Bears cannot take a big negative number here, man. They really got to worry about spread.
Well, and they did a terrible breakout, in my opinion, because they put nobody snake side, and Connor is already in the snake, wrapping from snake 1, and now the Bears will never be able to get out of this way. If the ML Kings can fill the wing, and Donaldson and the wing can keep the Bears from coming into the snake side as the Bears lose their first attacker snake side, yeah, I just don't like the
Bears are just, sorry to interrupt, Rich, but the offense is just non-existent for the Bears right now on the snake side.
And the defense sucks. Like, they're not in good defensive positions. You know, I'm not saying this sucks, but they're not putting themselves in position.
Not making the shots.
Where they could win if they were in defense, right?
Yeah.
Can't play defense from inside the pocket.
The ML Kings look dialed. They really do.
They sure do. Spent a lot of time out here walking the fields yesterday, and they've been spending a lot of weekends together practicing.
No,
penalty on second each out of the back center. Got barrel shot. That's mostly just unlucky if you get caught on a barrel shot, and then you get pulled, and then you get a buddy pulled too. That's like double unlucky.
Well, they concede the point here, and the ML Kings are putting up a big number against the Brooklyn Bears. Would be an upset victory based on what we've seen recently. If the Kings could get this win and also a win, I mean, they're pitching a shutout right now. Looking about as good as you can look right now.
Yeah, and I think it's partially because they're playing really, really well, and I think it's partially because the Bears might not understand how to play this field, or it might not have the plans that they need.
But which is peculiar because they played Houston Heat and can't remember the other X Factor. So you can't really get two better teams to practice against. And they were feeling good. I talked to them. They were pretty hyped on this one, and they look really flat right now.
And I expected them to be like the kind of the tough team in the bracket to worry about because they play such good, consistent paintball. And when you have a team that plays good, consistent paintball, you can't go out. You have to go out and beat them. You can't just go out and play paintball.
And this is a standard field. This is not a field with a bunch of mystery out here.
I like this better for the Ironman. They take the snake on the break, get in there live. They shoot one, so Danny takes the walk. 4-on-5 advantage here for the Ironman.
Big kill. They do let Level slip into D4. Ooh, another body coming off.
Yeah,
there's no snake side at all. Damian Ryan also.
The wing again shoots that guy, Matt. The wing shoots that yellow can there. And now that wing can control, and no one can fill it onto the snake side of the field.
It's that Spot Can Insurance Company providing insurance here for the players. This is new for this season. Big shout out to them. So rolling the dice over there after the two deaths. Need to make something happen, but running into a gun. So good zone control here for the Ironman. Try to tie this one up with 4:20 left to go. And if you're joining us on Facebook and YouTube, please head on over to Go Sports.
Level
watch the rest of this event.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Level start in the back center of that center tower in a 4-on-2, Matty. They might as well just concede this point, start over. Here comes the move.
Going to come up, get the shot on Askren, and here comes the run through to finish.
William dropping the hammer there.
Yeah, lots of new faces here on the Ironman this season, but names we're familiar with. You know, Jordan and Dylan Boyum coming over from DMG, getting Corey Field coming over from Thunder. Keith DeVitt and Kyle were on the squad last year with Nita as well, too. They got Chris Treegarth in last season as well. He's a SoCal legend, used to play with the Hitmen, Sonny Lopez's boys back in the day. He also led Long Beach State to a college championship with a broken hand one year.
LBC,
like 100 points in one weekend.
I remember that.
So, yeah, it's different looks, and they answer right there.
Speaking of LBC, Grace is graduating in June.
Oh, nice. God, your daughter's already graduating college?
Yes, your niece is graduating college, old man.
God, we're getting old. Yeah, so
no, I've been old.
There's Kyle talking to Gleason, Patty Gleason. He was thinking about, he had some choices. Patty Gleason's been around for a while. He's a weapon. And he wanted to play for the Shield, man. He definitely, was going to be he can play more paintball that way because, play with the Bears, you got to go to the East Coast. So I like that pick for the Ironman. That's the thing, right? They're trying to find that starting five. Bears kind of are already there.
Well, we thought they were.
But they're getting beat up by the ML Kings. So we got a game and we got a blowout here. So it's definitely edging towards blowout with the way the ML Kings are playing this field.
And like you talked about earlier, it's not going to get easier for the Bears, right? This is their easiest team in the bracket, right?
Yeah. So it's only going to get harder from here on out. Big shout out to Carbon Paintball, sponsor of the Golden Barrel, and Spot Insurance, the new thing this year. If you're playing at this event, you pay your registration fee, and you get insurance to cover an potential injury that happens out here. So big shout out to them. That's the new yellow bunker, in case people were wondering.
It makes sense now that you mention it. The Spot.
So we'll see if the ML Kings can continue this beatdown of the Brooklyn Bears, or will the Brooklyn Bears answer?
I bet Brooklyn Bears goes offensive this game.
Bears on your screen right now on the blue side. Split screen, breakout. ML Kings on the red side. Ooh, LJ Woodley checking himself. Taking a hard bounce as he gets into the spot bunker.
It looks like the Bears are putting a little more emphasis on taking those key spots, Matty. They're in snake one. They're in the snake wedge. ML Kings are kind of sitting back, playing a little defensively. Probably think because they're up on points, they can just sit back and shoot their guns. Especially with the way the Bears have been playing. If you're up on points and they're not coming at you.
Still almost 10 minutes left to go, though. 9:40.
So we still got a game. Woodley taking a bounce earlier and now getting shot out of that spot bunker. That's the key bunker over here on this side of the field. That's the one you use to transition.
Kyle Berry just got taken out trying to get out of that back center, too. So a couple gunfight wins for the Bears. Signs of life.
Yeah, and I don't like the Kings breakout here because they've got no one to stop. They got the wing, right? But they've got 3 guys in front of the wing. If they figure out that he's the only guy this way, they just start flooding down this side of the field. The Bears are making a crucial mistake here, Matt. They've got their first snake attacker on the inside defensive cut, right? They're down by points. They're up on bodies. What should he be doing, Matt?
Looking to push forward.
Looking to push forward, and then the guy behind him fills that spot and does the same job, right, Matt?
Absolutely. I mean, there's 3 bodies this way. One at the wedge, and now Altimore's going to get into the snake.
It's the old thing where you have 3 guys playing defensively against a guy who's not going forward because he's all by himself.
But I think the issue is that they're getting chewed up over here on the snake side, so he's thinking, okay, just step one, stay alive. You know, remember back when this was happening to us, we would say something like, all right, guys, just get to your bunkers and stay alive for 45 seconds.
Just hide, bro.
Just literally hide for 45 seconds and let's find it again. Because we're having big problems with survivability. And so, yeah, the Bears having problems with survivability, but looking good in this one. Still 5 bodies alive, and now Altimore is going to get into the snake. They are going to be losing body there on the D side.
No penalty, luckily. So 4 on 3 advantage here for the Bears. Kings are now in snake 1.
The Kings do have a decent crossfield spread, though.
Yeah. The
Pappas is on the island, though.
What the Bears blew there, Matty, was the containment on the snake side. They let them fill out to the snake 1, and they have to come out there, right? So if you don't let them come out there, eventually they're going to come out and you're going to get that free kill if you have the discipline. If you don't have the discipline, that guy fills back in, and now he can lock down your D side.
So the Kings will be very content to have a long point in this one.
And you can see these 2 guys, right? That cross right there between the wing and the snake 1.
4-point lead. When we started this one, 10 minutes left, right? With that 4-point lead, even if you drop, looks like Navarro taking the walk. And then now trying to push the issue with Frank Antetomaso is going to run down Mingo. And we're going to see a minor penalty, and that's going to be assessed. And I don't know if there was a body left to pull,
There was not.
So that's a mistake. Penalty on Mingo. He's coming off shaking his head in frustration because now they potentially could be starting with 4. So now a 3-point lead, but Bears might be on a power play with about 7.5 minutes to go. That could change the narrative of this game here if the Bears can pick it up and stay alive.
It could be. It could. Again, though, because I think it's the first weekend, I don't think guys understand the field well enough to understand that if there's no one on the snake side of the field and you're in the spot can and that wing over here on the snake side, you can completely contain this side of the field and the team can never move back out into the snake side again, and people are just dropping that discipline.
In the pits with the ML Kings. The good old, hey, play like it's 0-0. Let's go win the next point.
Right.
Talk from Kyle Berry, who's leader on that team.
5 on 5, Matty. Ironman is snake 1. Looking outside, though, not looking inside. So he might be looking to go forward.
Oh, they're going to lose Nick Sloviak from the tower.
Damian Ryan releases to that crucial wing position. He's going to block the snake attack.
Patty Gleason relentless over there on the D side. Fights into D3.
It seems like the Ironmen are getting more offense on their D side than they are on the snake side.
Yeah, Patty, in the spins that Patty's been, I mean, he's been up in D3 or D4 very quickly.
Just can't capitalize off of it.
Tie ball game right now, 2-2.
With Level having that center tower shut down the D side, if they can get any other guy helping them out, it's going to be real hard for Patty to get up that D side. Level's in real good spots here, Matty. These are kind of the 5 control positions you want to be in. Maybe if that can on the Dorito side can either go forward into that Dorito or out to the corner, it's even better.
Yeah, they don't have a lead to protect, so they're really going to have to hope that the Ironmen run through a gap right now. They look pretty tucked into their spots. Did just make a move into D1. Oh, they do get a kill, so yeah, they get the shot on Nita.
And Nita was looking inside defensively instead of going forward. Would like to see him attack more. Because now if Damian Ryan does a good job of pumping the outside of that yellow can / the inside of the snake insert bunker, it gets almost impossible for them to get back into the snake. And if the snake is the most crucial bunker on the field and you can keep the other team out of it, it gives you a slight advantage.
Corey Field gets out of that back center into the can.
Sure that was
help
Corey
out.
Field? That guy was fast.
And he's going to get into D1, try to give his teammate from Thunder both coming over.
I think Corey got that kill across field from that Dorito field and the snake won there.
Well, Corey Field is still a hell of a shot.
Yep.
That's why he can still play at this level.
A lot of people are like,
veteran.
A lot of people are like, oh, Corey Field is just a pretty face. And he's not just a pretty face. I mean, that's a big part of what he brings to the game. But he's also a good communicator, good shooter on the break, and almost never dies early. And if you add that to the fact that he has a pretty face, he's a good pickup for any team.
Yeah, so tense moments right now. Down to 1:30 here. Tie game. Might be heading to an overtime point here.
Call it, Maddie. Call it right now. If someone scores in 1:30, who's it going to be?
That's almost impossible to call. I don't know. I mean, Gleason's at D4. Level's got a body in D3. Sorry, they're both at D3. Level doesn't have any help over there, though, so he's on an island. Corey Fields there. I think we'll see overtime. That's what I think is going to happen. Danny's thinking about it.
Danny wants to go.
Danny backing up off that spot.
He's going to try to back up, get some momentum, go through the gap, I think.
Under a minute. And Danny's going to try to get through the gap, and it looks like he makes it clean.
Super athletic of Danny. He went outside, jumped over, ducked under, and then crawled through. Now Danny pushing exactly what he needs to do here. You called it right, Matt. I think it is going to be level. It's going to press the advantage, or at least try to win the point, you know, not just sit back and hope they don't lose.
Down to 45, or now 37 seconds.
Oh, it's going to be close. Damian Ryan's got the ball.
I think we're going to see an overtime point.
Yeah, I think you're right.
There's too much at stake for both these teams.
Yeah.
They had for what they're trying to do, poor performances at the first event. So, well, they do get a kill on Politi. So that's a tough death for Justin Politi right now with just 18 seconds to go. Might open the door for the Ironman here. They're going to send it.
Look,
and they're going to come down. He gets through. Hughes takes out. Damian Ryan shoots Danny Schoenauer. A little 3-pack here to steal this win for Hughes. Actually, a 4-pack to close for Clay Hughes.
And you know why that happened? Because Damian Ryan was in the wing looking inside of the field instead of playing defensively over here like we've been talking about for the first 2 matches. Well, Damian Ryan was out of position, turned his gun the opposite way. Big mistake there in discipline.
Tell you what, we do have $500 to give out for the move of the prelims, courtesy of Pate Smith Law.
That was probably,
and that's the best thing we've seen in 2 sets.
We're
so
only
far.
2 matches in, but that was an amazing.
Yeah. We got a lot of paintball to play today, but that's the #1 contender for the money in the prelims.
And that just shows you, man, if you don't come out here and understand how the field plays and the positions play, it doesn't matter how good you are, right? If you're in the spot and you look the other way, someone who might not be as good as you can make a big move.
When I talked to Mike Paxton and Shane Pestano yesterday, and I said, all right, gun to your head, pick your starting 5 right now. They were both sitting there with each other and unanimously synchronized at the same time. They both, first name out of their mouth was Clay. Both of them, and they looked at each other like, all right. Yeah, let's listen in real quick.
Fun when Shane gets pumped. Shane Pax gets pumped, there's a lot of energy.
Awesome move by Clay Hughes.
Awesome move by Clay Hughes, but really poor gameplay by Level.
Yeah, they didn't. Hey, man, you got to watch the zones, right?
They were in position to never even let Clay get into the snake, and they just dropped the gap, let him get the snake, and then they were in position to keep him from going forward, dropped the zone, and he ran down and shot 4 of them. When they watch this, I hope they see the same thing we see and make those corrections.
So jumping into this next point, still 3-point lead for the ML Kings. Bears pushing the issue. They
have to now, right?
They get Joey Baltimore here into the 50-yard line, snake side.
Now, if everyone on the Kings is doing what CJ was telling everybody on the New York to do and just hiding from that 50 snake, the 50 snake's not going to be able to get any kills. The only thing I don't like here is ML Kings have not put a guy in the wedge, and he's really the only guy that consistently keeps that 50 snake from wrapping. Donaldson now goes in snake 1, gets a bounce going in there, gets in there live though, looks inside, and again, there's no one to stop the snake player from the Bears from going forward and shooting the tower in the center, the back center, and then the can on the Dorito side, Matt.
A lot more time left in this one.
Now he makes the move into the wedge, and he can stop him there from that wedge. That was a good move.
6:20 to go. Cardo Donaldson at the insert bunker, snake side, Baltimore in front of him. No real help for Baltimore, though. There's no one up with him. Now he's going to get his brother to come in behind him.
Yeah, and that's kind of the rub over here, Matt. You've got to have at least one expendable snake eye, and then you've got to have another guy that can fill and become that next expendable snake eye. And a lot of teams will only put one guy that into that spot. Both teams playing that wing, but the Bears releasing from the wing, going to the center rocket as they push into the 50 Dorito side.
Well, it looks like Kappa's going to take the walk from that back corner bunker on the D side as Joey gets behind his brother.
That's a bad death for Kappas over there. He's got to stay alive in that situation. They drop another one.
Yeah, now pushing the issue here. The Bears going to get that 50 brick.
Yeah, I just think that it's a little bit too late for the Bears, right? They're now kind of figuring out how to play. And they've got 5 minutes left, so they could certainly come back. But they're going to have to be able to apply pressure like this, get 3 players up to these 50-yard lines, and dig ML Kings out.
Bears have a lot of work to do here in 5 minutes, Rich. They're still down by 3, but it's looking really good for them here in this one.
Communicating really well. They know exactly where the bodies are.
They're past the 50 on the D side, and here comes the hammer about to drop as they run through, take out Donaldson, and clean run, no penalty assessed. Still back center with Kyle Berry, trying to hold the line.
Yeah, Kyle's wheeling and dealing.
Another body coming off here for the Bears, so both Altamores have walked off here on the snake side, and it might just be up to that D side. Oh, they're going to lose another body in the center as well, too. I think that's Sester taking the walk.
And now both players for the Bears are on the D side, which is going to help Kyle Berry.
And Kyle Berry's throwing up a wall of paint here. Finally does get picked off, but eating up a little bit of time off that clock.
And they don't know that he was the last guy, so they're still looking. So they're going to burn up another 10 or 15 seconds trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, they're still just...
Better look there from the Bears.
Trying to figure it out here. I mean, hey, look, the Bears are getting it done, right? It's the scrappy paintball we've seen out of them before. Frank getting checked out. Thumbs up from the ref means the point is good. They did it with just those 2 bodies left alive. So Kyle Berry was eating the Altamores up over here from that back center. You can see Frank in frustration saying, how do we throw all those bodies away, man? I'm past the 50 over here. We need to tighten things up. The New Yorkers love to yell at each other.
Do they do? You can never tell if they're playing good or bad.
Let's listen in real quick. Oh, TJ Denner helping out the boys from the Brooklyn Bears in there. It's nice of him. Yeah, so... Yeah, tense moments here. Signs of life from the Bears. ML Kings put up 4 unanswered. Bears 2 in a row. 2-point spread currently. Not a ton of time left, but enough for the Bears to try to tie this one up, take it to overtime. And they are definitely pumped up right now. This is what you want to see. I mean, they're yelling at each other a little bit because they're from New York. That's just how they roll.
It's in their blood.
But if I was coaching the Bears, this is what I want to see in their pits. Yeah, so now for the ML Kings, I mean, what would you be if you're coaching them right now for this breakout? You're up by 2. Things are not going your way all of a sudden. We're losing some bodies.
I go offense. They expect us to just cross it up, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to go hard offense, but I'm also going to back that. I'm going to go 2 offensive and 3 guys that are in those 3 cuts in the 20 Dorito, the center tower, and the Snake 1. Those guys are going to be on the cuts. The other guys are going to be attacking. We're going to get to the key positions and then stop. 50 Snake. And then force, the Bears to try to push into that. Bears are going to stand and break out 4 this way, 1 Dorito side. 4+1 is what most teams are going to be doing out here, Matty. 4 guys this way, middle this way, 1 guy Dorito side. Oh, ML Kings drop 1 but shoot 1. 4 on 4 here, Matty.
Yeah, 4 on 4 with a little under 4 minutes to go. Bears able to get a body out wide.
And it's
snake
the Dorito,
side.
The baby Dorito as well, Matt.
Yeah,
they're out on both tapes.
Out in the D2, and they're going to crawl into the snake, so they're pushing the issue. Exactly what they need to do.
Bears get another player out to that Dorito corner, Matt. That's a real good bunker over there. It's mostly a defensive bunker, but it's a strong bunker because you can shoot the inside cut. You can support the Dorito in front of you. 4 on 4. ML Kings now move up to that Dorito 4.
Yeah, ML Kings, Navarro.
They listen to you a little bit. I mean, they're
finally
not playing on their heels right now, taking some grounds each side. They get to the wedge, outside bunker, or inside insert bunker here, snake side.
Yeah, I like Navarro in that spot. He can keep the Bears from wrapping that 50.
And if you're joining us on YouTube or Facebook, please head on over to gosports. Watch the rest of these battles going down to 2023 NXL Lone Star Major. Best paintball players in the world here at event number 2. So Altamore trying to figure out how to break this open here. Still, again, they need 2 to tie. 3 minutes to work with. Doesn't need to get crazy quite yet. He's got about maybe another minute to get creative before he's going to have to start forcing the issue over here. That wedge is just posted on him, though, Rich. So he's going to do a little tactical retreat.
Yeah. And what he needs to do is swing the guy that's in the can behind him, Matty, out to the snake 1 and have that guy help him put that guy in so that the 2 of them can work together on the wedge. If it's just a one-on-one battle with the wedge, it's just a 50-50 gunfight. Either guy can do it, and the wedge can kind of check off and just shoot the cut. But so if the second guy comes back and the 2 of them work together, they can get that wedge out of there. But in a one-on-one situation, the wedge has the advantage because he's up on his feet shooting down into the snake. Oh, that's going to hurt him.
Tough death right there.
Baltimore taking the walk.
Yeah, and he knows it. Eyes to the sky in frustration.
Navarro's doing exactly what he shouldn't do there. He switches now, looking Dorito's side, is going to allow the spot can guy to move out to the snake side. Navarro is in the containment position there. They got the key kill on the snake, and instead of containing that side and catching the player going from the spot can into the insert, he lets him fill all the way to the snake, and now that guy can go down in there and shoot them again. Now Navarro has to switch back and contend with the guy in the snake. He wouldn't have had to do that if he'd have been on the cut to begin with. Bears lose another body, but so do the Kings. Kings with 3, I believe Bears with 2.
Oh, they're going to lose Navarro. Yeah, so Kyle Berry was taking the walk. Navarro also going to take the walk.
2-on-2, Matty.
It's getting interesting here.
2-on-1, Matty.
30 seconds left to go.
Bears advantage, 2-on-1.
Got to push the issue here. They need 2 just to tie. I mean, even getting the 1 and the loss with just a 1-point loss, Rich, still decent. But
based on how the match started, for sure. Here goes Frank.
Frank running right at the snake insert. You're going to get it done here. So they're going to have about a minute to work with to score 1 point. Tough on a field like this.
No pressure. No pressure. Point approved. Man, I'm excited to watch paintball this week.
Yeah, it's so many compelling stories out here, and there's so many upsets now too in the past couple seasons. So just kind of never really know what we're going to see out.
Well, and
when we watch these teams play.
That we've been talking a little off the air about and kind of been going on. There's some really, really good teams in this league. Houston Heat, X Factor, a couple other ones that haven't been kind of performing at the level that we're used to them performing, you know? And it's going to be interesting to see which one of those teams can kind of climb their way back onto the top, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so Dynasty's won 7 of the last 13 events. Other than that, it's getting pretty interesting. Obviously, Damage with 2 second places in a row. Impact won 2 last year. Heat's overdue for a win.
X Factor.
X Factor is overdue for a win.
There's 4 teams that are all kind of overdue for a win, and they're all kind of competing against each other for that win.
But the Hurricanes and the Bears are 7 and 8 right now. And then you have Infamous at 9th, NRG Elite 10th. It's just getting hyper competitive. And then what is Diesel going to do here at this event? They had a blowout at the first one. Yeah, they had 1 win. But, and they beat Revel by 3, but they lost to the Ironman, they lost to the Hurricanes, and they lost to Heat. They finished with a -2. That's a superstar roster. Obviously, long-term play there for Mark Johnson.
Amount of money in that program as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, it's just getting crazy out here, so we will see.
It's just getting more and more competitive, which I love.
And more fun to watch.
Yeah,
Which is what you said to start this conversation out. Absolutely.
More enjoyable.
Can the Bears get it done here, tie this game up, send it to overtime?
Listen, don't tell management, but I would probably do this for free.
I'll just pretend I didn't hear that.
I love the view that we get from up here, too. Like, the guys are always like, hey, what can you see up there? I'm like, I can see everything. I'm like, this is so much better than being on the ground. Other than the 50 snake, obviously, and the 50 wedge, which I think there's a wedge there, I'm not sure. But the rest of the field I can see really well. All right, Maddie, what are we doing?
Well, if you're the Bears, it's not with a minute. You don't have to send the Flying V reckless attack, but you're pretty close.
I don't know if Flying V works on this field.
I don't know either.
There's not that classic run through the middle where you could just block one side or the other.
Yeah, there's lots of blockers in the middle from that straight run, but and then the ML Kings is just hold fast. Also, because we're under a minute, don't get a major penalty.
Don't get any penalty.
Because if a team gets a major, that immediately will stop the time and spot the point to your opponent.
Which is pretty much the match.
So ML Kings sending their starting 5 out. Good to see Kappas getting a nod here for the start. Veteran on the ML Kings.
If the Kings can get a breakout like they got that first or second point, they're going to be fine.
Send Elias Rodriguez with some wheels out there. He looked good at the first event.
10 seconds.
Navarro's been pretty much in every single point. Looks like Kyle Berry and Carter Donaldson. So that's the boys are going to be trying to hold the line here as the Bears going to send it. So
snake on the break, I like that.
Sakaguchi catching a hard bounce, trying to double up the God Bunker, and then on some staggered attacks. Looks like a couple bodies coming off, though, for the ML Kings. They're losing 3 bodies.
2-on-5, Matt. ML Kings down to 1 body left alive in the snake. The Bears are going to win this point, Matt.
Brooklyn Bears go down by 4, and then they step up. And what a completely different second half of this game. Sakaguchi coming through to stitch up Donaldson. And then
Smart
still with 40 seconds left.
Hit the bell buzzer. That was real smart.
Now I'm wondering if are they gonna chill for 35 seconds and send it straight to overtime, or are they gonna want to play a 30-second point? I would rather just go straight to overtime.
Yeah.
Oh nope, they want to play the 30-second point.
Yeah, they were screaming back and forth to the pit. They were trying to figure it out.
Well, I mean, the tough thing though is that if you have 30 seconds left. I mean, we saw the Ironman steal one in this set too, so. I think we're probably still going to see an overtime point. I think neither team's going to want to make a big mistake here.
Yeah, I agree.
To throw it
Both
away.
Both teams will go out and hide.
But that means you will get a little bit of an extra break, right? So you go out, most likely a point won't be scored. Occasionally we do see teams steal wins in this situation. It's happened quite a bit throughout the years. So it looks like Antetomaso playing every single point out there.
It also gives the coaches a little extra time to put together what they want to do in that next overtime point, right? So like, hey, just go out there, suck this up. I'll figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah, tense moments in the pits right now. God, what a crazy game though, Rich. So
it looked like it was going to be all Kings.
Yeah, the Kings are just completely obliterating the snake side for the Bears and go up 4 unanswered points. Then the Bears wake up. Everyone starts staying alive for the most part. And then they score 4 unanswered.
Maybe the Bears are just slow starters.
Trying to sucker them.
Take a little while to get the mojo going.
They just plan it that way. You know, say, we're just going to make it as hard on ourselves as possible.
Let's get them overconfident, and then we'll cut their legs out at the beginning of the match.
1 minute, boys.
So a minute to go before the start of what could be the last point. Probably going to see an overtime point, though. So, yeah, if we got a tie in regulation, we'll head to a 5-minute overtime point. If we can't find a winner in 5 minutes, then we will head to one-on-ones to decide it, as there are no ties in pro paintball.
30 seconds.
ML King sending out the same line.
Well, you know, if Campus is going Dorito side, they're probably not pushing the Dorito side. That's kind of more their hold.
Yeah, but he's been playing pretty much every single point.
Yeah. Navarro's probably going to release that wing.
Yeah, Navarro's been doing a good job of getting up to the wing. They got to get Donaldson into the snake.
Yeah.
If you want to score 30-ish second point, we'll see how much time's left in regulation. 24, actually. So
I love
they send it. You were wrong. Kappa sends it all the way to D4 off the break and makes it clean. Oh, and a bomb blows off.
Yeah, Donaldson ran to the snake and shot 3 guys.
Yeah, well, Kappas also went to D4. So, major penalty. Minor be assessed. Pulling out a couple bodies right now for the Kings. That is going to probably send it to overtime. Nope, they do eat up. I don't know. They have bodies left alive. Not enough time. They did the work. There was that one body left alive. Altamore was still alive in the back center, so we are heading to an overtime point. That was.
Looked like it was going to go.
This has been a crazy game. Very interesting how this one shook out. Really was looking good for the MO Kings for a second, as both Donaldson and Kappas get into a really good spot, chew up the Bears. I looked over at the ML Kings, saw those moves, and I looked back. 3 bodies were walking up.
I was just watching the fact that Donaldson was running and shooting through the snake, and he didn't dip down. I'm like, what is he seeing? And I look back, and there's 2 dudes peeling off from this side, and 1 guy from the center. I'm like, oh, that's what he's seeing. He's seeing his paint blow up on everybody.
Momentum shifting back to the Kings a bit, as they needed about maybe, I don't know, it was a 2-on-1, so if they had another 20 seconds or so, probably would have won this game. But that is not the way that it shook out, so we will throw 5 minutes on the board and head into an overtime point.
I love that look, though, running and shooting to that snake. You know, and the confidence, like, yeah, if you got it, go. If you see the guns, just dip.
Well, Donaldson's fast, and he's a small target, so we got the ideal build for a first attacker in the snake.
Yep.
Bears, I like the energy in the pit.
Well, you know what they say, Matt. If you're going to be a Bear, be a Grizzly. I'm not sure how that relates, but Bears taking the field. We'll be starting from the blue side. 5-minute point.
30 seconds.
So 30 seconds to go here. Is it going to be the Bears, Kings? I don't know. Who you got, Rich?
I'm still thinking Cap is going to that D4. I would have lost probably $100 on that. That was a bad read. He suckered me.
They tricked you.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
He's still got some speed.
Oh, yeah, he's got speed. He's you know, some people are wrestlers and some people are boxers, right? So some people are offensive and defensive. He usually falls into that kind of defensive set.
Yeah, but he's consistent at that. Though,
for sure.
You know?
No,
so he doesn't die early
it's
a
not
lot.
A knock. It's not a knock.
Yeah.
We need, like, Neil Eberle was an amazing paintball player, right? He was always alive, always, you know, doing what we needed.
Well, they are going to send, as we go into overtime, they're going to send Donaldson into the snake again, and it's going to be a 5-on-4 here in favor of the ML Kings. Donaldson's going to hit the deck, crawl right up to the 50. ML Kings still doubling up that back center.
Yep. And the Bears don't have anybody in that wedge, Matt. So right now, Donaldson can go to the 50. He can wrap and shoot the tower in the back and shoot the home.
Yeah, they got him. I mean, they're putting pressure on him barely from that back center, but not ideal. Yeah, and so he's feeling nothing, and he goes all the way onto the Bears side. Donaldson probably going to be able to win this one here if he can make some shots real quick. Ooh, and he does. He gets that shot inside.
He's going to shoot the center. He's going to shoot the back center, just like I said.
Oh, but then Donaldson gets taken out as the Bears are going to try to reposition. They do lose 2 more as they get a body out to the back corner bunker, but it's not looking good for him right now. 4-on-2 situation here in favor of the Kings. The Kings don't have anybody out wide right now, though.
Yeah, but the problem is the Bears players, Altamore, is just looking inside playing defensively. He gets 2 guys shot next to him. The guy in front of him dies, and he just stays there on the defensive cut looking across the field. Down on bodies, that's not the way you're going to win on this field. Kings have 4. Am I missing one Bears, or is it 2-on-4?
2-on-4.
Okay. So, and the Bears are in good position. The Dorito corner and the Snake one, those are really good cross positions. Like, if you do want to sit there and cross up a bunch of guys, those are great spots to do it. I just don't think it should be your attackers that are doing that. ML Kings need to find out where the 2 bodies are, where the cross is. The move is to get into the snake, because he can come all the way into the snake, put pressure on the corner, and then go release and get the snake 1. Or snake corner, whatever we're calling it.
Well,
I don't think the Kings know the count or where the bodies
I
are
think,
yet.
well, they dropped that. Bears dropped the body first one quick, and then they shot 2 in a row. I think you're right, though. I don't know if they know that it is a 2-on-4. They need to get somebody out wide on that D side. Kappas is looking like he wants to go. Navarro's up at the stand-up wedge, but he's posted up on the snake as if there's somebody in the snake.
Well, and back center for the Kings is completely out of play right now, right? Back center is playing defense against when they're in a 4-on-2 and the other team isn't pushing. So you don't need to be on defense. You need to be on offense.
I think you're right. They don't know the count. They don't know the count and the positions.
Or how to play paintball.
I mean, I think they're getting good at that. But the thing, but the situation is it's still 2-on-4.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether you know the count or not, yeah, they still have 2 minutes and 40 seconds to work with.
Well, and if you're in a spot and no one's shot at you for a long time, that's a really good indication that, hey, man, maybe I should go somewhere and do something different. Kyle Berry now gets out of back center, fills the spot can, which takes the pressure off of the player in front of him, allows him to fill into the snake. So 3 now on the snake side for the Kings. Navarro in the wing, Berry in the can. Pappas over in Dorito 1 standing up tall, shooting across. Kyle now filling in snake side. I think they're starting to figure out that they're way up on bodies. So did you hear that? Where's the 3rd body?
Yep.
So they know that they shot 2, but they actually shot 3. So they're just trying to be safe and find the 3rd body.
Yeah. Well, they're loading up here with Kyle Berry diving in the snake, loading up on the snake side. Kappas is on an island. He's got to stay alive over there in D1.
Now, Matt, you've only watched 2 matches out here today, but where's the one spot that can keep Kyle Berry from going forward in this snake and keep him from winning this match?
The wedge.
The wedge looking which way?
Towards the snake.
That's amazing, Matt. You got a really good read on that. I think you're going to see teams out here playing this and not playing that way.
And considering this is my first time, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, again, they got 1:30 to work with here, but I'll tell you what, if somehow the Kings can't find a way to win this one with a 4-on-2 for basically 3.5 minutes, then
that's on, especially after going up like 3-0 in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
That's on them. But again, no one can stop Kyle Berry, right? It's the Dorito corner and the snake 1, so all Berry has to do is crawl all the way into their snake, either pop up and put the corner in or kill the corner and then run the snake.
Well, he's trying to get creative, and he's not feeling much pressure, so.
No pressure. No one on the Kings has any pressure.
Yeah.
And that's the indication, like, hey, they don't know where we're at. We're way up on bodies. How do we make this work, right?
Yeah, definitely giving the Bears some chances to work somebody out in a gunfight.
We're less than a minute now, Matt.
Yeah, dude, we're at
Jesus.
52 seconds.
If Kings blow this, this is completely on them, man.
Well, Barry's in a good spot. Try to drop the hammer. He's going to have to go coast to coast, and he
what
does.
Just what I said.
And so Kyle Barry figured it out, makes the move, and drops the hammer on Altimore. Just that one body left alive does pinch out Barry, but it's not going to matter as Navarro with 32 seconds going to get checked out by his boy Kappas. Puerto Rican's getting it done here. Going to hit that buzzer.
Puerto Rican power, baby.
Solidify the win for ML Kings.
Nice little match there, back and forth.
It was looking a little scary for the ML Kings because the Bears woke up, but they finally get the win. So at 1 point, a win and a +1 on the margin here for the ML Kings. Got an interesting set coming up next. Edmonton Impact, one of the best teams in the world, about to take the field. Currently ranked 3rd overall. They won 2 in a row last year, and they're going to be playing NRG Elite, who warmed up against X Factor, but unfortunately for them, warmed up in a loss. X Factor retaking the field. They're going to take out on Aftermath, who shut out the Saints. Both those teams sitting at 1-1 here. As we're kicking things off, day 1 of the 2023 Lone Star Major. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you're joining us on YouTube or Facebook, please head on over to gosports.com to watch the rest of these brutal paintball battles, the best 20 teams in the world throwing down. I'm Matty Marshall with Rich Telford. We'll be right back.
Dynasty, let's go, boys.
For event number 2 on the 2023 tour, the NXL is heading to Texas, where the battle between the best paintball teams in the world is going down in Round Rock, outside of Austin. Last year we saw Tampa Bay Damage rise again and break their decade-long win drought to make history with the win over Edmonton Impact in a triple one-on-one overtime. Can Damage summon the spirit and skill needed for 2 in a row, or will a new squad hoist the Texas trophy? Tune into gosports.com April 28th through the 30th for another epic Lone Star State showdown.
We got a ton of great announcements, a huge show, and all the news and all the stuff that's going on. Possibly, allegedly. We are ripping right now. Get some sick giveaways. Everybody.
Hey everyone, this is Walker with Carbon Paintball, here to show you guys our SC and our CC pant. You're probably already familiar with the SC pant. We've had that for a few years now. It's a 3-layer Gore-Tex pant. If you're looking for something a little bit lighter, a little bit more of that newer style, that jogger cut, that would be our CC pant. Just came out here, it has the drawstring waist. It's got a little bit of taping in it. It is water resistant throughout, and it's got a reinforced knee region. The CC pant features a tapered leg similar to a jogger cut, but it's going to give you a little bit more room than the average pant. The pant's available in sizes small all the way to XXL and is available at crbnpaintball.com.
Communication, obviously, everybody knows is a big deal on the field. The way that you can talk to each other on the field with this mask on is something I've never experienced before. It's very breathable, and I feel like you hear that a lot from other companies, but this is truly different in my opinion. Every time I'm yelling, I can still hear people next to me talking. We were kind of climbing up the ranks when Carbon was kind of too. Walker and those guys have just been awesome to us. You know, anytime they're testing new stuff, they hit us up. It's not like a one-way conversation. It's felt like with some other sponsors in the past. They understand that like people like me don't like to have, you know, crazy thick arm pads with a jersey that has stuff on your wrists and stuff like that. It's stay as light as possible so you're comfortable, you know, in these hot days. Every year we have a choice to go somewhere else with our sponsorship, and after 4 or 5 years with these guys, we're still here. Like, we're still next to Carbon because we choose to be.
Hey, this is Walker with Carbon Paintball here to talk to you about our SC custom jerseys. To start your team's design, head over to crbnpaintball.com, fill in some team information, including what colors, what template you want to base your jersey off of, upload your main team logo and any sponsors, enter your name and your number, and we're going to kick you back a 3D image of your jersey. The custom jersey is built on a 5-panel design that's all customizable. The jersey features a DWR coating all throughout the jersey, so it is water resistant. It also is stain proof, and it has side mesh venting. The jersey is also very fitted, so it has a compact neck collar, and it also features elastic thumb loops to keep the sleeves in place while you're sliding or running. To start your team design, head over to crbnpaintball.com. Walker here with Carbon Paintball to discuss the Zero goggle system with you guys. We have the Pro version and then the SLD. What you're going to notice first is the color options. The Pro, it is a semi-translucent Airflex bottom. That's the mask region. And then
Jumping back into this one here, 2023 Lone Star Major. I'm Matty Marshall with Rich Telford. This could be a good one as Edmonton Impact, one of the best teams in the world, about to play NRG Elite. Ooh, NRG Elite getting a rough start.
Both teams bad breakout, Matt.
Yeah, and that's going to cost 2 bodies here for Impact. It does look like NRG Elite able to keep 5 bodies alive, but they're not in great positions, and so Impact's going to coast up to that 50 brick. Might help them out here, maybe get a couple kills to even up the count. Sure enough, they're going to get 1. As Bowen tries to push out towards the D side, Travel able to get out alive, so it's still a 4-on-3 in favor of NRG Elite, but they are not in great spots, Rich.
No, and if NRG Elite can contain Impact in the center of the field as they catch one guy going outside, so 4-on-2 advantage now. Oh, Nick Laval's got his barrel in his hand. That is not good as well. Might be having paint problems there on Impact. So 2-on-4 advantage here, and the big problem for Impact is that the 2 guys that they have are trapped in the center of the field. Betancourt runs down the first one. Betancourt shoots the second one here. It hasn't shot him yet, but he's about to. Shoots the second one. NRG with a great first point, but both teams got bad breakouts, and that might be why Impact lost those 2 first players bad.
Yeah, Matt Jackson's also ripping his barrel off as well, too, so.
Yeah, Impact might be suffering. You know, that's one of those things that we talk about. Like, it's so hard to win a paintball tournament because you have to be so good at paintball, and everything has to go, like, you have to have good paint, at least as good a paint as the other team, if not better.
Yep.
Your equipment's got to be working better. The referees have to make the calls your way.
Pit crew needs to be dialed.
Yeah, everything's got to be dialed, man, and then you have to have a little bit of luck on top of that.
Hey, guys, remember our horn is that you know what I'm saying?
I like that. Great definition. Can we put that in the Wikipedia, please?
Yeah, so not ideal for either squad, but NRG Elite was able to scrap that first point out. See if X Factor and Aftermath can get cleaner breaks here, point number 1. Both these teams with a win already. If you guys just joined us, thank you so much for joining us here at event number 2 of the 2023 NXL Pro season.
Shout out to First Form. I'm eating one of your protein breakfast snacks, and it is amazing.
And X Factor starting from the blue side. Billy Bernacci going to go to the spot bunker. It's an insurance company that's bringing the insurance to all these fields out here if you're playing this event. So it looks like the first body drop's going to be Aftermath, losing a body from that inside. They do get into D3 pretty quick.
I like the fill that the X Factor just did from the center tower over to the snake insert. Cody now fills that spot, looks D side. He's looking to shut the D side down from that tower in the center of the field. Uh-oh, X Factor losing their first attacker snake side. Great fill across there, but then got caught heads up. 4-on-4. Neither team with a big advantage here. Neither team with anyone on snake side except the yellow can. Towers are both inside. Snake, Aftermath makes a move outside, gets in one move in front of Billy Bernaccia. Aftermath and X Factor both understanding that that tower in the center field is played to shut down the Drew side. Billy Bernacci getting caught on the bump there, Matt.
Yeah, he got caught on the transition about a step out of that spot bunker and just got clipped in his loader. So see if X Factor can pick it up here.
Yeah, 4-on-3 advantage for it, but the containment again. They let Billy Bernacci Cody get out from that tower into the snake insert. Now they let him get into snake 1.
And they let Parrish get all the way out into D2 as well, too. And a couple nice moves here to split the field, spread the field out.
Oh, TJ almost gets shot from the snake player. TJ's alive. 3 on. The referee's running in, though. There is a 3-on-4 advantage here for Aftermath.
Yeah, and on your screen here, you can see Aftermath.
Wow,
that
Cody
body.
made a good move, but got caught, man.
Yeah, well, Cody trying to take out the, he's trying to run down the player here in the snake for San Diego Aftermath.
Great move, just got caught. 2-on-4 advantage now for Aftermath, and everybody for X Factor is on the Dorito side of the field, and that's going to be a problem.
So Parrish does know, well, but nobody knows where they're at right now. Parrish is completely out and exposed to this player here in the snake if he were to pop up.
Yeah, if he looks across, he's going to get an easy kill. It looks like he's going to try to shoot TJ first, though.
Yeah, he's trying to work on TJ. TJ now knows, so he's going to yell to Parrish, and Parrish is probably going to be able to get the shot in on Morris.
And at least he hid. Parrish, Parrish
now,
dies.
Okay, so Morris is looking inside now.
1-on-3, Matt.
And that we're going to see a concession as it was just TJ down or left alive. So good first point here for Aftermath, getting Morris into the snake, getting that nice kill on Billy Bernacci on the transition. Morris protecting himself as Cody was trying to run him down. So Aftermath, who shut out the Saints. I mean, no one scored a point on Aftermath yet so far here at this event.
Boom. Enough said.
30 seconds.
In the pits right now with Aftermath.
Aftermath wants to prove that that first point was a fluke, obviously, and come out here and play a lot better the second point.
I like how Ramirez is coaching Aftermath right now. Pumping the dudes up a little bit, also being harsh and critical when he needs to be.
But he does that thing that Hinman does well, too, where he applies pressure to his guys throughout the event, so when the guys get to a pressure position, they're used to dealing with it. They're like, oh, my God, now I have pressure. I don't know what to do.
Well, excellence must be expected out here if it's to be delivered. And jumping into this next point, and a better start for both squads, but two bodies coming off. Nice off-the-break shooting here for Impact, and to give themselves a two-body advantage, 5-on-3.
More kind of what you would expect to see, right, with these two teams going against each other. NRG now dropping another body. They've got Snake 1, and they've got the tower. The tower's looking the wrong way. Boffman switches, now looks the other way. Now he looks back to the Snake side. So 2-on-5 advantage here for Impact. Impact losing the first point. Looks like they're easily going to win this second point.
Well, we will see. Still got some bodies to work out as Betancourt into the Snake. Got another body alive at the tower trying to stop the move from Axel Godin. Not able to do it, though. Godin able to get to this 50.
And where would he go if you wanted to stop that guy, Matt?
Ideally the wedge.
Yeah, good call, Matt. Good call. How many times have you played the field?
None.
Never played this field before, and you're able to see that wedge is the spot that's incredible.
Well, I've now watched it quite a bit.
Yeah. Interesting. I have a feeling you're going to see a team that I'm associated with come out later and not play that wing looking this way, and my head is going to explode.
Betancourt's going to crawl
big
up.
Move. That was a good move.
Yeah, he's trying to give Axel something to worry about here. Axel does not know that he's there. I'm wondering if Betancourt knows that he's there. If Betancourt hits this bunker, don't want to tap the bunker. Nice job to not hit that bunker and give away your position.
Or if he shoots his gun, Axel's going to go get him, right?
Yeah, as soon as he hears Betancourt open up that gun, he's just going to launch and take him out. And vice versa.
Yeah, I don't know if Betancourt knows that Axel's there.
I'm going to say 100% he doesn't know he's there. Now he does.
Oh, nice move by Betancourt. Amazing.
Yeah, Betancourt, and here comes damage control from Matt Jackson.
Unfortunately, he loses his support behind him.
Yeah, Buffton tries to get in behind Betancourt, and he gets taken out, so...
Betancourt just misses the kill behind him. He does what he has to do and goes forward and tries to make a move. Gets Matt Jackson. Impact's going to win this point, Matty, with two bodies. Oh, there's still one guy hiding in the corner.
No, it's Impact.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Impact's already down there.
Yeah, that was...
I was like, it looked like the way he was playing that, it looked like he was on his team.
So, Impact getting it done from the D side.
Yep.
And if you are joining us on YouTube or Facebook, please head on over to gosports.com as the battles will be raging fiercely all weekend long. here in Round Rock, Texas, a little outside of Austin.
I love it that we do that on Friday because, like, the guys at the hotel are like, we want to watch. How do we watch you guys? I was like, oh, no problem. Just go to Facebook on Friday, and then you can go to Go Sports on Saturday and Sunday, man. They were super excited. Shout out to the La Quinta over here.
In the pits right now with Edmonton Impact as we watch Aftermath take the field. There's Big Dave Baines, done such a good job of coaching the team and also being the general manager, trying to secure the talent needed to be at a top level. And there's one of the guys they got in the offseason. They were able to secure the talents of the World Cup MVP, Dalton Vanderbilt, taking him from Dynasty.
Right now, Aftermath has to be the favorite in this tournament because no one scored a point against him yet.
They are looking pretty good.
Big bite. Jesse Stevens going snake one on the break. Oh, he might have got shot in the foot going out there. Yeah, he did. So X Factor dropping their first attacker snake side.